From WPXI's Chopper 11, an aerial view of one of America's great educational institutions, Carnegie Mellon University. And on the outskirts of downtown Pittsburgh, not only a great undergraduate school, but an excellent law and pharmacy school, Duquesne University. Live from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's the Carnegie Mellon Tartans versus the Duquesne Dukes. Tonight's WPXI telecast is being brought to you in part by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. By Westinghouse and its 140,000 employees worldwide. By Pittsburgh National Bank. We're a bank that believes in performance. And by the Pittsburgh Brewing Company, brewers of Icy Light and Iron City beer. Pump and iron in the new Steeler can. Hello, everyone. Along with Rocky Blyer, I'm Sam Nover, and welcome to Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. This is the first college football game of the 1981 season. We thank Nellie King for that piece of information. The weatherman has not cooperated, but of course, the game played tonight is not the first in the history of these schools against each other. They date back to 1931, in fact. Each school having won 4 times. One game has ended in a tie. You must remember the 1931 game vividly, don't you?
Of course, of course. But this is a new year, and Dan McCann of the Duquesne Dukes is very excited about this year. Of course, you know that last year he came out in the short end of this game after starting that rivalry back up 39-7. But he really feels that he has a more improved team this year. And one person to look at that he's built this team around is number 34, Pedro Bowman. People call him the franchise. And Dan McCann thinks that he's going to have to use Pedro. He's going to have to get the ball to him at least 30 times a game. The strong point in the Duquesne team is their offensive line. And with that combination, it should be quite an offensive attack as far as Duquesne is concerned. Well, on CMU, Bill Kieslake is the key over there. They run out of their shotgun. It's a big concern of Duquesne. It was the one thing that beat him last year. If they can kind of contain him, he does a lot of things. They got people in motion going back and forth. He runs slants off of it. He throws very quickly off of it. Their weak point is probably their defensive line, but that's bolstered by a very strong linebacking and secondary core. So it should be a very good game.
Rocky, as you well know, Duquesne has not forgotten the 39-7 licking they took last season at the hands of Carnegie Mellon University. They have only been in Division III of the NCAA for the last 3 years. Carnegie Mellon, on the other hand, is the only school that's won the Lambert Trophy as both a Division I and a Division III school. Their coach is well known. Chuck Klausing has won Coach of the Year honors and everything else. As I said, the weatherman has not cooperated, but the kids have come to play. Carnegie Mellon will dress 110 for tonight's game. Not a broadcaster's dream, but one you'll enjoy. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this.
Show them all you're on your way with the taste that says today, yeah, you're drinking it. Icy Light, everywhere you're having fun, you'll see the light that's number 1. Hey, give me an Icy Light, an Icy Light.
Products once made in America now are coming into America from all over the world. We've lost markets at home and overseas to nations whose ability to produce more efficiently has grown faster than our own. Today, Westinghouse has technology to help reverse that trend, with manufacturing control systems and energy-efficient machinery to help American industry win back our competitive edge. Technology from Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
The big difference between Cedar Point and other nearby parks isn't getting here, it's being here. We have coasters and carousels, sky rides and water rides, shows, shops, a giant wheel and frontier trail, saloons, balloons, dolphins, ducks, cops, candy, restaurants, and a railroad. There are more rides and more of just about everything than any other park.
Come to Cedar Point, the amazement park.
Well, as you can see, the weather here in Pittsburgh has played havoc with our crowd. They had hoped for 6,000 to 8,000 tonight, but there are a precious few as the rain comes down at Three Rivers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before our opening kickoff, the Hampton High School Marching Band and the National Anthem. Well, there are precious few, but they make a lot of noise, do they not? The Hampton High School Marching Band and our playing of the National Anthem. It's a night, Rocky, that only a mother would come out to watch her son, I believe.
And family and relatives and some good friends. And they've done a heck of a job coming out here and supporting their people.
All right, let's preview some of the people that we'll be looking for tonight. First of all, from Carnegie Mellon University, the Tartans will feature this young man at quarterback, left-hander Bill Kieslick. He is called the Snake because he resembles Kenny Stabler. He spent much of last season out with a broken wrist. The man he'll try to get the football to is number 83, Gary Drakulik, the tight end from Gateway High School, a weightlifter, one of the strongest men on the club, 4.7 speed in the 40. And the coach of the team, of course, Chuck Klausing. He had these comments before tonight's game.
All right, to win this game, it's very easy. We just have to have no fumbles or any passes intercepted. We have to have a perfect kicking game, no mistakes in the kicking game, no assignment errors. Our defense has to be perfect. No long runs or long passes against us. We have to have a very good goal line offense and defense and stay away from any foolish penalties. And if we do that, everything will work out all right.
Okay, what about Duquesne University as the captains are meeting in the center of the field for the coin flip? Greg Costco, number 15. An outstanding punter, a pro prospect, in fact, averages 37 yards, also has a good pair of hands and 4.6 speed in the 40. And the young man that Duquesne will rely very heavily on tonight, number 34, Pedro Bowman from Thomas Jefferson High School. Rocky talked about him at the outset of our broadcast, an undersized Tony Dorsett, 4.5 speed in the 40. If he were a couple of inches taller, he might be playing for a major college as far as football is concerned. Now the co-captains out in the center of the field in the coin flip. First of all, before we get to that, Dan McCann is the head coach of Duquesne University. These are his comments before tonight's encounter.
Okay, it's great to be here tonight at Three River Stadium, except for the rain. Our kids are excited about playing. As far as our game plan for tonight, to win the game tonight, we got to control the football. We have a good offensive team, and I believe if we can control the football, Chuck has a real strong offense, and if we can control the football, we can win this football game. If we have the ball 70 plays, and they have it 55, we'll win.
Well, now you know what has to be accomplished for Duquesne to pull off the upset tonight. Having lost this game 39-7 last year, the Duquesne Dukes have not forgotten. And whether or not they're outmanned remains to be seen over the next 2.5 hours. Duquesne has won the toss. You hear the Dukes down below us. They have elected to receive, and CMU will put the ball in air. Denny Pastufka, number 33, whose cousin plays for Duquesne, will be doing the kicking off. And CMU now on bended knee in front of their bench. Head coach Chuck Klausing, and as we mentioned, 110 strong in uniform tonight. The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Gene Susi. The umpire is Robert Clority. The linesman, Joe Bramier. The back judge is Ray Shaming. The field judge is Paul Tomasevich, and the line judge is James Sims. Well, Blyer, what do you think? Going to have some fun tonight in the rain.
I think so, and I think but both these teams are going to have a lot of fun. I was down in both locker rooms before they came out in the field and started warming up, and you could kind of feel the tension. Of course, you know that this is a first game for both of them, and neither one of them have a feeling for the other team. Only from last year's film, that's all that they can really count on. And so it's going to be kind of a wait-and-see type of a situation as this game develops.
In the deep receiving spots for Duquesne, as you look at the kicker we just told you about a moment ago, Denny Postufka, who is lacing up the toe pretty good.
Sam, I talked to his cousin, Wally. And the great thing about Wally is that Denny taught him how to kick when he was in 8th grade. So it's kind of a family feud going on.
In the deep receiving spots for Duquesne, number 20 is Richard Beatty. Number 22 is Jerry Sistrick. And number 34 is Pedro Bowman, and they want Bowman to touch the football. He is in the middle. So a sparse crowd indeed at Three River Stadium as the rain continues to fall. It's Duquesne University against CMU, the first college football game of 1981, and we are underway. Sestrick at the 3-yard line. Across the 10 to about the 15, and he's dropped there. And Duquesne will go to work from just outside its own 15-yard line.
Sam, for both these teams, you're going to kind of see an influence by the professional teams. You're going to see that Duquesne will come out and split backs with both wide receivers. Also that CMU is going to play a pro defense of 4-down linemen.
Okay, let's meet Duquesne's offensive backfield.
Trace Bocan, McKeesport.
Pedro Bowman, Jefferson. Bernie Barchi, McKeesport.
And the give on the first play from scrimmage is to Barchi, coming outside across the 20 to the 26-yard line.
You know, Sam, they got 2 young freshmen back in that backfield, and of course everybody's talked about Pedro Bowman. And the one thing about Pedro, and I think that they're just trying to test out CMU and see what they're going to do.
Here are the wide receivers now for the Dukes.
Ron Zangaro, north side. Greg Costco, Duquesne. Glenn Breisinger, Carrick.
And the gain by Barchi was good enough for the first down, so Duquesne on first down fakes the give to Bowman in the middle and sends Barchi around the outside. Now Bowman gets it. He's tackled right at the line of scrimmage at the 26-yard line by Ken Morosky, the linebacker on the left side, number 54, who may very well be the best defensive player on the field. Now, finishing off Duquesne, let's meet their offensive line.
Chris Saunders, Waynesburg.
Dale Marks, North Hills. Thomas Mellett, Mount Lebanon. Mike Duffy, Green Tree. Val DeFelice, McKeesport.
And the Dukes will do a great deal of running to their right tonight, or to their left rather, behind Saunders and Marks. That's the strength of the Duquesne offensive line. 2nd down and 10. Tracy Bocan back to pass. Throws one out in the flat. It's caught out here by Ron Zangaro, a senior out of Oliver High School, and he's out of bounds in the neighborhood of the 35-yard line. He was run out by Jim Christ, number 23, but that may be very close to another Duquesne first down.
You know, the first 2 plays they set up pretty well. They faked Bowman into the line, and then they let Bowman run on a quick trap. And now they set up the passing down at this point, and Ron Zangaro, as you can see, just a down-and-out pattern. So far, they're doing what they wanted to do, and that's control the football and pick up those first downs.
Well, Rock, they spotted Zangaro out at the 34-yard line, so it's 3rd down and 2. They run from the I formation. Tracy Bocan out of Sarah Catholic, the quarterback. 3rd down and 2 for the Dukes. Bowman gets the call, and he is stacked up behind the line of scrimmage.
Looks like a fumble.
May have fumbled the ball, and if so, CMU is on it if it's allowed. Yeah, let's see what they signal. The play may have been whistled dead before the fumble. I believe it was, and on 4th down now, Duquesne will have to kick it away. So they've been successful in stopping Bowman, but obviously, Rocky, they're going to key on him all night long.
Of course they are. They play that 33 defense, and one of the things we have to look at in that 33 defense is when those linebackers cheat up. The quarterback for Duquesne has an option to call different plays at the line of scrimmage.
Greg Costco, 37-yard average last year. Gets a good high punt away. Fair catch called for by Christ at his 33-yard line. And now CMU will go on offense for the first time tonight. So we've had Duquesne's first offensive series. They have kicked to CMU. We'll be back with Carnegie Mellon's first offensive series of the night after we take this time out.
It's been called the City of Champions. But even before that, it was the City of Pride. Built by generations of proud people, it is now being reborn. Renaissance, too. More than a changing skyline, it is a steel, stone, and glass tribute to the people of Pittsburgh. At Pittsburgh National, we're proud to be part of this great performance. Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
Most car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting new Subaru at the dealer nearest you.
A reminder that Pittsburgh's news station, WPXI, becomes the first word in news with a 5:30 report of News Center 11. Jim Scott, Roxanne Stein, Pat Finn, Rocky Blyer bring you the news ahead of its time, starting September 14th on Pittsburgh's 11, WPXI. Okay, the offensive backfield for CMU. Let's meet them.
Bill Kisslick, Brackridge, PA.
Joe Vasilini, McKees Rocks, PA.
Brad Hewitt, Perryopolis.
First down, Kieslick on the quick pitch to the 35-yard line, the ball carrier Vasilani, and he reaches the 38-yard line before he's stopped by Eric Werner, number 45, and also Bob Shippert, number 44, junior out of Canevin. So Vasilani carrying on first down. We'll see a lot of offensive backs by Carnegie Mellon tonight. Now let's meet their wide receiving corps.
Mark Leposki, Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Dan Fry, Schiller, PA. Gary Dracolik, Monroeville, PA.
Gain of 5 by Vasilani. Second down and 5, CMU at its own 38-yard line. We're scoreless first quarter from Three Rivers. Kieslick rolling left and throwing left, and it's incomplete. Intended for Leposki at the far side of the field. The coverage there by Danny Hastings, who's also the backup quarterback for Duquesne. And the ball was simply overthrown. And Rocky, this field is now starting to get a wee bit soggy. And I'll have you comment on that in just a moment. Let's now meet the offensive line of Carnegie Mellon.
Jim Brown, New Brighton, PA.
Al Camisa, Butler, PA.
Scott Kosnick, Maslin, Ohio.
Rick Creech, Stewart, Florida. Scott Lee, Fairview, PA.
Third down and 5. Kieslick now in the shotgun. Plenty of time. Now the rush is on, and he's knocked down. Excellent pressure from Tom Pellis. He never really was knocked down, but obviously it took all the sting out of his pass. And Duquesne got an outstanding rush from Pellis, the freshman from Hempfield High School. And so Duquesne holds, and that's got to be a morale boost to Duquesne Rock.
It really is. You know, I mentioned at the top part of the show that CMU loves to run out of that shotgun formation. Duquesne has done a lot to prepare against it and just know what they're going to run, what patterns they're going to run. And you can see that they were pretty well covered there.
Gene Marsink back to do the punting for CMU. Gets off a low spiral. Fielded to the 23-yard line by Richard Beatty, and good coverage by Carnegie Mellon. Down he goes at about the 24. So the Dukes have it back, their second offensive series. There's a timeout on the field. We're at Three River Stadium in the rain. It's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Fewer than 500 on hand, but it's going to be an enjoyable night, I can assure you. Duquesne and CMU are scoreless.
Flavorful, fresh, firm, Giant Eagle, healthful, hearty, wholesome, produce, variety, vitality, value. Like sweet, juicy Turlock California honeydew melons, this week just 99 cents each. Giant Eagle, nourishing, natural, nutritious. The produce department at Giant Eagle. If you want fresher produce, you have to grow it yourself.
It's the store-wide Red Tag sale at Sears, where you'll save $20 to $150 on Kenmore appliances. Save over $21 on this heavy-duty Kenmore washer. Pair it up with a gas or electric dryer and save another $21. Find big Red Tag savings on this 12 cubic foot frostless refrigerator. It's over $51 off. Save over $31 on this freezer. And this cook defrost microwave is over $41 off. Red tags mean red-hot savings through Saturday at Sears.
Sam Nover, Rocky Blyer. We're at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, a special sports presentation of Channel 11 WPXI, the first college football game of the 1981 season anywhere in America. Duquesne and CMU, the Dukes have it for the second time tonight. The game is scoreless, and they're operating from their own 25-yard line. Tracy Bocan, the quarterback, number 10, with Barchi, number 48, and Pedro Bowman, 34, the running backs. Bowman on the pitch, trying to get outside. Good pursuit. He breaks one tackle and finally reaches the 29-yard line. Stopped again by Killer Morowski, number 54, and also Lee Furketic, number 57, a junior out of Shaler High School. So let's give him a gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5 now for Duquesne.
Sam, you were talking a little bit before about the weather and about the rain and the sloppiness, and of course you got to understand that this is the first game, but I got to give an edge to the Dukes because they've been practicing on this all through training camp on AstroTurf.
Well, there are puddles, Rocky, as you can see. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but in the end zone and in the 50-yard line area. Barchi through the center of the line, fumbles the ball after he got the first down, and Carnegie Mellon has it. Well, at the beginning of the broadcast, Chuck Klausing talked about fumbles from his team, but it's Duquesne that's turned it over here.
We get some good blocks, and Barchi really turns it up. Pedro Bowman threw a nice block in the outside. And we're talking about the wet and the weather, and the ball can be a little slippery in this first contact.
So the first turnover, CMU has it. We'll be back with our offensive series here at Three River Stadium at a scoreless football game right after this.
Down the stairs, boys.
I think I'm in love. I know I'm in love. Give her a call.
Right. You know, what number is she on?
Try 10.
10 it is.
Answer, answer.
Hi, I'll get us a beer.
She hung up.
Bill, 2 irons.
Iron City.
How you doing?
Great. How's your day?
Super. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
Iron City.
I know that guy's secret now.
Pump an Iron City beer.
Everywhere you look, people are taking pictures. It's America's #1 hobby. Saving memories, smiles, all the good times. And more of us are taking our film to Revco because we get high-quality prints at everyday low prices. And now, a 100% never-late rebate. We get our color prints back the very next day, or we get them free. Getting into pictures has never been easier.
It's the #1 television entertainment in the world, and it comes to Pittsburgh's 11 every weeknight at 7 o'clock. The Muppets join Kermit and the gang with Helen Reddy Monday, September 14th. So CMU, after the turnover, goes from Duquesne's 41-yard line. Bill Humphrey is the man who recovered the fumble. Kieslick is a quarterback from the pro set. And on a dive play, gives to his first back, Vasilani, a sophomore out of Montour High School, and he reaches about the 37-yard line. Let's give him a gain of about 4 on the carry. Stopped there by Eric Werner, the middle linebacker, and Ed Feeney, number 90, the defensive right end. Gain of 4, second down and 6 for CMU. This is the 12th season that Dan McCann has been the head football coach at Duquesne. A very impressive record. Of course, only the 3rd year the Dukes have been in Division III. Before that, it was club football, at least in recent history. Here's the quick now to Vasilani again. Trying to get outside, breaks a tackle, and fights his way to the 33-yard line. Mike Leon, number 70, is the man who made first contact, along with Dan Hastings, the right safety out of Char Valley. And he'll be a little bit shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 1.
Sam, I was talking to Chuck Klausing before the game and throughout the week, and I was trying to get a feeling of what he's going to do preparing for this game. And he really is taken a kind of a boxer's approach, as he said, because when we started, he said, I don't know much about this team, and it's kind of a wait and feel, and we'll adjust as we go along.
Well, it's a little bit longer than 3rd down and 1 for Kieslick and company as they run from the full house backfield. And the give again straight ahead is Vasilani plowing his way very close to the 30-yard line. I believe he's got a first down. At the bottom of the pile is Ed Feeney, 90, and Pella, 74 again. And if Vasilani is inside the 31-yard line, he's got a first down with plenty to spare, and I believe he does. So the Tartans get a first down here. .9:04 to go in the scoreless first quarter. We're at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh in the rain. A continuing rain, very lightly, but certainly enough to keep the crowd away tonight and make it very uncomfortable for the few hundred who are in the stands. They are what you call diehards, I would imagine.
True fans.
Or mothers and fathers. Quick burst by Brad Hewer, and he's stacked up as he reaches the 26-yard line. Pellis again making the stop, and Eric Werner. These guys are playing very well. And the front line for CMU, Brown, Kamisa, Kosnick, Creech, and Lee opening a nice little hole there, Rock.
They did an excellent job coming off that line, and of course that's one of the things that they're going to have to try to do. Go straight at them until they get a feeling of what the Dukes are doing on defense, and they're doing a fine job of it.
I get the feeling already that Clousey knows exactly what he wants to do, and that's wear Duquesne down.
I think he knew it before he told me what he's going to do.
Got a ton of backs, and they'll use them all. Vasilani takes it outside, nothing doing as he reaches the 25. Luke Grippo, number 61, the junior left end, along with Dan Van Dyke, a sophomore out of Montour, number 83. So let's give him no gain on the play. It'll be third down and 5 now, and so Kieslick faced with an interesting situation, whether to go shotgun on this one or not. He had a broken wrist and missed virtually all of 1980, did Bill Kieslick, the junior from Highlands High School. Lou Olive, his backup, the senior from Peabody, played virtually the entire year as you look at Chuck Clousing on the sidelines. Inside handoff does not work. Vasilani got the inside handoff from the shotgun, and the Tartans will come up about 3 yards shy of a first down. Feeney with an excellent defensive play. It'll be fourth down and a long 3 now for Carnegie Mellon, and on comes their kicking team.
Well, Sam, that was one of 3 plays that they usually run out of the shotgun formation, as we talked about before. They like to throw very quickly. Last time they didn't have that become successful, but they also like to run people in motion and then give them off on a handoff, as they did that last time.
Danny Postufka is on to try a field goal of 41 yards. They will spot the ball at the, let's call it 42 yards. It'll be spotted at the 32-yard line. The placement, Postufka's kick is up. He's got enough leg. It is good. Danny Postufka, a 42-yard field goal, and CMU draws first blood. I wasn't aware of the young man's kicking strength, but an excellent field goal. And Carnegie Mellon takes advantage of the turnover to lead this football game 3-0. 6:48 to go in the first quarter. Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. We'll be back with Carnegie Mellon's kickoff in a moment.
The F-16 is built by the most productive country in the world, America. And we can maintain that leadership with technology, like this Westinghouse computerized manufacturing control system that's helping General Dynamics produce the F-16 to the highest standard of quality, dependability, and cost efficiency. At Westinghouse, we're helping many industries with systems, products, and technology to increase productivity. Productivity from Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
The 5:30 report on News Center 11 is first with the news.
At 5:30, we're catching people right at the end of a busy day. Now you can get your news as soon as you get home.
Our 5:30 report is more than just the regular news. We'll have special economic reports, updates from our Washington bureau. Rocky Bleier takes you inside sports. Pat Finn has the weather, entertainment reviews, and more.
Get all the news ahead of its time. Watch the 5:30 report on News Center 11. When you're good, the news gets around.
Danny Postufka's 42-yard field goal has given CMU a 3-0 lead over Duquesne. 6:48 to go first quarter. The rain continues to fall here at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Rock, I started to ask you earlier about the effects of the slippery aspect of this tartan surface. You played on this field for a lot of years.
This can become very slippery if you're not used to it. And there's some soft spots out on that field, and there's some slick spots out of that field, especially towards the end, around on the sidelines and towards the end zone. But as I mentioned before, I said the Dukes have been practicing over in the South Side Stadium on AstroTurf, and so at least you get a better feeling for the footing.
One gets the feeling that the offense has the advantage on nights like this. Rocky, do you agree?
I think so, because you know where you're going to go, and that's the important key.
Here's Postufka kicking deep. Oh, and he sailed this one to the goal line, and Pedro Bowman downs it in the end zone. For a touchback, it'll come out to the 20-yard line. So Postufka really feeling his shot of strength there. Boom, one into the end zone. And Duquesne will start at the 20-yard line.
Could be makings of another David Trout. I don't know. It,
never know. Who's right.
Really got into that one.
Let's set this offensive front line of Duquesne. The tight end is Glenn Breisinger, number 84. The left tackle, Chris Saunders, 75. The left guard, Dale Marks, probably their best offensive lineman, 62. Mellon, 56, the center. DeFelice, number 60, is a right guard. Keeper by the quarterback, Tracy Bocan, and he crosses the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Mike Duffy, number 77, is the right tackle. Zangaro and Costco are the wide receivers.
CMU did a very good job of, I mean, that was a little option play coming around to their left side. CMU did a great job of being able to turn that in and make Bocan turn up inside without getting that pitch out there. That's the key to stopping that play. And Duquesne has been very concerned about it because, as I mentioned before, CMU likes to run it a lot.
2nd down and 9. The Dukes with the football, trailing 3-0, operating from their own 21-yard line. Zangaro wide left, Costco to the right. Quarterback Tracy Bocan now coming in motion. Costco. And to give to Bowman. Good hold to the 30-yard line. Excellent run. Maybe a little shy of the 30. They'll spot the ball at about the 28.5. But Pedro Bowman running very, very, very well with the football and good blocking up front.
Dan McCann said that they're going to have to do a lot of different things. They like to run the man in motion, in which they did. They like to run the quick traps on a counter, in which they ran right here. There was a very nice hole and a great block by Marks, and Bowman just slipped right up in there.
So on 3rd down and 1, from the I formation, you look at Pedro Bowman, the freshman from Thomas Jefferson. He gets the football, and he's hit as he reaches a line of scrimmage, and I don't know. I don't believe he penetrated the 30-yard line. Joe Wagner, the strong safety, number 34 from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. And Killer Morosky was there, number 54, as well as Big Jim Stanky, 77. And they have stopped Duquesne shy of a 1st down. So the CMU defense, which averaged giving up 6.5 points a game last year to rank 6th in Division III of the NCAA, has done it again. That is not your average defense that you're looking at. Greg Costco will be kicking to 23, Jim Kreis, and number 11, Ted Thomas. Good snap from center. Costco, short punt. It will bounce at midfield, take a Duquesne bounce to the 45, and die at about the 44-yard line. So CMU has excellent field position. The Tartans will begin at their own 44-yard line, leading here 3-0, having forced Duquesne to punt from deep in its own territory. Only a 26-yard punt by Costco. Not very good.
Going to have to do better than that because field position could be a key in this game, Sam, and you can't give CMU that type of position.
CMU out of the huddle with Bill Kieslick, the quarterback, number 13. Leposki, 21. Fry, 86, the wide receivers. The first back through. Brad Hewer, number 26. Fumble! And Duquesne's got the ball.
Big play, Sam. Big play. Big turnaround. Now, this could be something that could really spark Duquesne's offense. On this wet and rainy days, we're talking about a nice tackle. Boy, gang tackling in there. Just knocked that ball loose. Nobody around. They came in. And Duquesne came in and stopped on the ball. Now, there's some things that people should know about rules, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Drew Rust, number 65, forced the fumble. Ed Feeney, the young man you're looking at, number 90, recovered the ball. So the Dukes have the best field position for them tonight at the 48-yard line. Bocan wants it all, throws downfield. It's almost intercepted and should have been. Ted Thomas was watching the receiver, Rocky. Never saw the ball coming. I believe it hit him right in the thigh.
I'd be watching, too, if I saw the big tight end coming right down the middle. And that's a, and that's a very tough play when you're back there and you got Tukalik coming down the middle and the play. It's right there. It's overthrown. Oh, right in the hands, and we dropped it. Surprise. And I think he was more interested in getting his licks in than catching the football.
Reisinger was the intended receiver. Incomplete. 2nd down 10 from the 48-yard line of Duquesne. Tracy Bocan calling the signal. Gives to Pedro Bowman. Breaks a tackle. Squirts ahead for a couple of yards into a CMU territory at the 49. So a gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7. The clock continues to run with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the Tartans of CMU lead Duquesne 3-0.
And I hope that the I hope that the people out there can hear the hitting that's going on that field much as we can hear it up here. I mean, there's some real contact going on, not only on the defensive tackling, but also on the offensive blocking, Sam. And we talked about these two teams being keyed up in the rivalry of these two teams going all the way back to 1931. And you can feel it and see it out here tonight.
Duquesne's called a timeout here as Bocan has come over to the sideline to talk to head coach Dan McCann. There you see Chuck Klausing and the CMU coaching staff on the far side of the field, and you can see the rain hitting their rain jackets. It is not a very pleasant night for football. Dan McCann, I believe I said 12th year, and I believe I'm right. Maybe the graphic is wrong. 62, 29, and 1, if you count everything. Of course, Danny was a quarterback at North Catholic. Played 2 years at the University of Pittsburgh under John Michaelosin. He is now the assistant to President Bill Smith at Iron City Beer at the Iron City Brewery, and is an extremely popular guy, and you would have to be if you devoted all the years that he did for nothing. Club football is all Duquesne had for so many years under him.
I mean, if there's one thing I can say about Dan and maybe the Duquesne football story is that he's the one that got it started. I mean, he put his blood, sweat, and tears into that program, and is finally see it where it is today.
3rd down and 7. So I think a worthwhile timeout for Duquesne. This is the farthest penetration they've had tonight. Bocan rolling left. Has a man wide open. First down, Duquesne. At the 30-yard line, Ron Zangaro, the senior from Oliver High School. At the 30-yard line, and the Dukes are really gunned up. And they gave him excellent protection. 14 yards on the play, Rocky, but Bocan rolled a little bit left.
That was the key to it. One of the things that Bocan does, he has the option of changing plays, and I think this was one that he changed. The CMU blitzed their 2 middle linebackers. Duquesne's offensive line picked them up tremendously, but it gave a big opening right in the middle.
Stats for Ron Zangaro in 1980. Pretty good receiver. Big first down for Duquesne. And Barchi gets a handoff, and look at that defensive play by Lee Furketic, the junior from Shaler High School, 6 feet, 190 pounds, and he's in the backfield almost as a handoff took place to Barchi.
Well, I thought he read that very well coming in. No one touched him. He had a clean shot coming through, but that's the thing he has to do. He's got to read where those plays are going to go and try to make the best of it, and he came in and made the tackle for a loss.
2nd down and 12 now as the Dukes come out of the huddle, led by their center, Tom Mellett, the sophomore from Mount Lebanon. They have the ball at the CMU 32-yard line. Now Bocan rolling right. Has a man in the flat. Bowman over his head, and he couldn't catch up with the ball at the 25. It was intended for Pedro out of the backfield, and I think Bocan just hung that one up a little bit too long.
A little too much. It's a tough angle to throw at with a back coming out in the backfield, and you really got to develop a touch with it. And as you had mentioned, Sam, as the folks had seen out there, it hung up a little too long, and it's tough to run underneath it.
You want to kill quarterbacks when they do that, because that gives secondary men a chance to meet you head on, and all you see is a few stars when you catch the ball, don't you, Mr. Blyer?
There's a couple of them that I wanted to kill.
3rd down at 12. Another big play for Bocan. They haven't been this deep all night long. Costco in motion away from our camera. Bocan rifles it out. Zangaro trying to break a tackle. Brings it back to the 25, 20, first down to the 15.
Big play, Sam. Big play. But the key there, not only with the broken run, was Bressinger coming back and making the block. See it right out there. He's wide open in the flats. Great balance. Kept this right here. Boom. Good block. Able to pick up that first down. Maybe we can see it from a different angle and see what happens here. Oh, boy. I wish I was that fast. There we got it back down to normal.
He might have looked that quick to Bill Humphrey, the defensive back, I'll tell you. First down at the 15. And again, they play the run superbly. Bowman gets a handoff, and he runs right into Bill Corpus, number 78, senior from Peabody High School, 5'11", 200 pounds. Big play for CMU. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Duquesne at the CMU 15-yard line. It's 3-0. The Tartans lead the game with 1:50 to go first quarter. And who would have thunk it, as they like to say in television land.
Who would have thunk it? But they're moving well, and that's the big thing, is control and keeping the ball.
19 yards, incidentally, on the first down play to Zangaro, and he did all the work on his own. Just a marvelous run by Ron after he caught the football. Costco in motion. On the delay to Bowman, and again CMU met him at the line of scrimmage. Verketic stayed home. The inside linebacker, number 57, was not fooled. Neither was Jim Stanky, the senior from Poland, Ohio.
They're playing the defense very well. They're reading their keys very nicely and not running out of the pocket or running out of their defensive position like people do so often who are very excited about the game.
3rd down and 10 now for the Duquesne Dukes. Their place kicker, by the way, is Chris Kelly, and I'm sure he's prepared. Zangaro comes wide to the left and Costco to the right on 3rd down and 10 for Duquesne. Bocan back to pass. Looks out here in the flats. Throws it to Bowman. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line and out of bounds. He'll be shy of a 1st down. Bill Gross, number 85, was there, along with Ted Thomas, number 11, the senior from Amherst, Ohio. And they'll come up 3 yards shy of a 1st down as we look at it again. Rocky Blyer.
Verticat put a great move on. I mean, they're blitzing their linebackers down here. It was nice pass getting out to the flats. Wasn't enough, as you were saying, Sam. Basically stopped the clock, but they give them time to set up for the field goal. And you know how important this is going to be because it could make a difference in this weather. It could be a low-scoring ball game.
Let me tell you something. Maybe I read this wrong. Kelly's on to try a field goal. Would you go for the whole ball of wax here on 4th down and 3? You got a chance to put Carnegie Mellon down in the football game. Well, we'll talk strategy and we'll play coaches when we come back because we have completed 1 quarter of play here at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. CMU 3, Duquesne nothing.
Shopping all done, honey.
Oh, thanks. Oh, Walter, are you crazy? Look what you paid for this 4-pack of bathroom tissue.
It's the new Scott Tissue 4-pack.
But it costs more.
But it has double the sheets of our 4-pack.
Oh.
Look, it takes 2 of our leading brand 4-packs to give us as many sheets as 1 new Scott Tissue 4-pack.
Wow, Scott Tissue really saves us money. You're a smart shopper, Walter.
The new Scott Tissue 4-pack. Double the sheets, saves you money.
He was born at the turn of the century and grew up on Pittsburgh's North Side. He went on to become perhaps the greatest sportsman in the history of the game, Art Rooney. Not just the founder of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but their father, not just admired, but loved. A great human being whose entire life has been one great performance. And we salute him. Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
We invite you to make the noon report at News Center 11 your first choice for midday news. Hank Bachman, Roxanne Stein, and Pat Finn bring you the most complete report in town every weekday at noon, right here on Pittsburgh's 11 WPXI. Maybe I'm nuts, but I'm telling you, on 4th and 3, I'd go for it now if I were Duquesne. They get 6 out of this drive, and as successful as they've been throwing the football, Rocky, Carnegie Mellon will be scratching their heads for a long time. They may be in a state of shock.
Well, I think Dan would like to just tie it up at this point. I think he's controlling the ball. He's doing what he wants to do. But what I'd like to see, I mean, I agree with you partly. I'd like to see a fake field goal right now because you know CMU's going to come after that ball. They don't want this game tied up.
25-yard attempt by Chris Kelly out of a Bocan hole. Placement, the kick is up, and it's good. So right now, Dan McCann looks like the genius. He went for the field goal, and he got it. And the Dukes have tied the Tartans here at 3 apiece. As Chris Kelly has converted a 25-yard field goal attempt.
You know, Sam, those 3 points are, I think, for Duquesne are as good as the touchdown that you were talking about. And the reason is that most people talking about this game over the last couple of weeks didn't give Duquesne the credit that they deserve. They really thought that CMU was going to come out as they did last year and maybe just run over, and it's awfully nice that they play the other school in the city. Right. And so I think that 3 points really gives them some confidence. It ties up the game, and Duquesne could be riding a high now.
You may be right. You may be right. It's just fun to play coach once in a while. I hope nobody at home minds. I'm sure they're doing the same thing. It just seems to me a chance in a lifetime for the Dukes to pull off a big upset here that they would remember for the rest of their lives, and you're down there deep. Who knows if they'll get there again tonight? It would be a great boon to their confidence. Short punt, short kickoff at the 13-yard line. Sansati brings it back across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. A return of 18 yards on the kick by Chris Kelly. And the tackle made by number 72, John Colosimo.
You know,
and
Sam,
number 88, Chris Hoff.
Sorry, Sam. You know, one thing I was going to say is that this is, in pure essence, what football is all about.
Oh,
Between these two teams, Division III, there's no scholarship, there's no money under the table. They're doing it for the fun of it.
I couldn't agree with you more. Bill Kieslick, the quarterback. The left-hander they call the Snake. Gives to his second back through, number 44, Joe Vassalani, and he's stacked up. The fumble, and Duquesne's got the football again. Getting off the bottom is Drew Russ, number 65, a sophomore from Brentwood. I never saw it squirt loose, but Vassalani coughed it up.
You know what happens on big plays and big turnovers? I was talking about Duquesne and the enthusiasm right there. They came in and they just really put a big hit on, and they got their turnover. Look for the big pass right now.
Vassalani still down in the field. He's slightly shaken up. There's a timeout on the field. Duquesne with a chance to take the lead over favored CMU. We'll see what happens in a moment.
Most car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting new Subaru at the dealer nearest you.
You know, for my money, every pair of slacks ought to be this comfortable. These are Levi's Action slacks. I own 4 pair now, and I'm convinced they may be the most comfortable slacks a man can wear. First, they have a hidden stretch waistband. It's a great invention. Second, the fabric gives for even more comfort. And now Levi's Action slacks will stay pressed. A washable permanent press that really stays pressed. You try them.
Levi's Action Slacks, the easy care, easy to wear slacks from Levi's Menswear.
Sam Nover, Rocky Blyer, welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. They are still tending to the injured player on the field, number 44, Joe Vassalani, the sophomore from Montour High School. As you look at the first quarter stats, not much offense by CMU, but look at Duquesne's 80 yards total offense against the 6th best defense in Division III last year. Vassalani is being helped off the field by a couple of his teammates, and it appears to be a leg or a knee as you can see him being assisted off the field.
Well, Tracy Bocan is doing a heck of a job. 6 attempts, 4 completions for 45 yards, so they're moving the ball in the air. You know, you're at a perfect situation right now as far as Duquesne. You come up with a big turnover at this point. If you can pick up CMU's blitz, because they are going to blitz, I'd send Costco down, Zangrera down, and put Pedro Bowman down on a swing pass and go for the bomb at this point and try to catch him.
You saw the kind of rain we're getting here, the shot from the field level. Here's a counter play, a handoff to the big back, Bernard Barchi, right through the center for some yards. Freshman out of Sarah Catholic, number 48, picking up about 4 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now for Duquesne. Rock, what do you think about Dan McCann getting conservative at this point?
Well, I don't think that he should have. You know, I'd hate to have to see sit on his success. I'd much rather come out and, you know, go for the bomb and take advantage of his field position.
Tracy Bocan, number 10, the quarterback. Barchi, 48, and Bowman, 34, the setbacks behind him. Again, they run from the eye. Bocan rolling right. Some pressure. Throws it down the middle. Touchdown, Duquesne. Ron Zangaro.
Well, they did it on the second play, Sam. You can see Bocan, he rolls out to the right, but the key is back here in the pickups on the blitzing linebacker and safety. And it's fantastic. And Sangrero comes right in. They got a strong safety blitz coming in, but it's a backside protection that really helped set up this pass. And of course, Zangrero with the speed going down the middle, caught the seam and was a touchdown. Boy, it puts him in a great position, Sam.
Tracy Bocan will hold now for the kicker. Here's the attempt by Chris Kelly. It's up and it's perfect. And would you believe, with 14:02 to go in the first half, in the rain at Three Rivers, the Duquesne Dukes lead the CMU Tartans, one of the major powers in Division III. It's 10-3. The Dukes will be back with their kickoff in a moment.
Hey! drinking it. Icy Light, show 'em all you're on your way. With the taste that says today, yeah, you're drinking it. Icy Light, everywhere you're having fun, you'll see the light that's number one. Hey, give me an Icy Light, an Icy Light.
Westinghouse Technology developed an ultrasonic flow meter to protect America. By using sound to measure water flow, it predicts proper firing conditions for underwater missiles. Now, ultrasonic flow meters protect the delicate environment of the tundra by detecting possible breaks or leaks in the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. By innovation, a technology developed to protect America is helping protect America's environment. Technology from Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
The first satellite network in the world brings you the all-glamour gossip on Entertainment Tonight. Bo Derek, Burt Reynolds, Junior Ewing, and Pat Finn with local entertainment news on the premiere of Entertainment Tonight, Monday, September 14th at 7:30 on Pittsburgh's 11, WPXI. Well, it may be raining for those who are watching this football game, but the sun is shining brightly for Dan McCann and the Duquesne Dukes right now. They lead it 10-3 after the 29-yard touchdown pass from Tracy Bocan to Ron Zangaro, and here's the kick at the 12-yard line. Mark Rubel breaks it across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Tackled there by Chris Haas, and penalty markers are down. And I believe, Rocky, if memory serves me correctly, that's the first marker we've had tonight.
First marker is right, Sam. You know, the Duquesne has really done a excellent job as we see it. The penalty right there. I think that CMU was really concerned about Pedro Bowman in the running game, and I thought that they put a lot of emphasis on the, on stopping that. Let's listen to the official here.
Here's referee Gene Soucy with the call.
Personal foul, spearing, defense, first down.
Good, glad remember, huh?
Little enthusiastic there.
He got his act together. Little overzealous Duquesne Duke. Spearing was the call, 15 yards, and it certainly gives CMU excellent field position at the 46-yard line. And now the referee, Gene Soucy, has come over the sideline here to perhaps explain something or what?
The clock
Yeah, the clock shows 24 minutes to go in the quarter. We know that can't be right.
What I was talking about before and the success that Duquesne has had when we're talking about their running game and what CMU had to do is that they really came back with their passing attack. And two key people, of course, was a quarterback, Tracy Bocan, number 10, and wide receiver Ron Zangaro. Zangaro has come up with 4 receptions with 69 yards and a 17.3 average. And that's a big thing because it picks up the first downs.
Change at CMU's backfield to number 32, Gerard Sansasti is one back, and Brad Hewer, number 26, is the other. Obviously, Vasilani still injured, suffered the leg or knee injury a few moments ago. We don't have any further report. Excuse me, but Sansasti is on, number 32, and Kieslick is still the quarterback. From the I formation, CMU trailing 10-3. Play action. Kieslick throws the home run ball. He's got a man downfield, and it's bobbled and dropped. Intended for Dan Fry, his junior wide receiver from Shaler High School. At 6'2", he had a nice height advantage over the defender, Paul Rosinski, but he couldn't hang on to the slippery ball.
One of the problems there, Sam, was that Paul hung up there a little long. I mean, it was kind of a floater out there, and it gave Rosinski a chance to get underneath it and deflect it and get in the way of Fry.
Scoring drive for the Dukes. 33 yards, the 29-yard touchdown pass from Bocan to Zangaro. Kieslick has yet to complete a pass tonight. Unofficially, we have him 0 for 3. Second down and 10 at the CMU 46. Play action again. Throws it out on the sideline. It's dropped. Intended for number 22, Mark Rubel, the senior from Johnstown, Pennsylvania, in and out of his hands. Danny Van Dyke had the coverage, but it's incomplete, and third down now for CMU.
It comes off that veer option that they like to run so much. Being a left-hander, it takes a little time to set up. There was good protection. He just overthrew it on the outside. I'd like to take the time right now. It might happen in this game, Sam, is that people out there have to remember that in college football, receiver only needs 1 foot inbounds to make it a completion.
Third down, Fry comes wide to the left, and Rubel to the right. In the shotgun on third down. Beasley sets up the screen out of the right flat. And brought down from behind is Brad Hewer, and a penalty marker is down. Tackle was made by Lou Grippo out of Central Catholic High School, the junior, 61. But a penalty marker's down. Grippo made an outstanding play.
CMU does a very nice job setting up the screen. But Grippo does an excellent job of coming off his block and off his pursuit, spun out there, has good speed, be able to make that tackle. Could have been a big gainer down that sideline because there was nobody out there.
Penalty is apparently against Carnegie Mellon, and the Dukes are prepared to refuse it and take the football back. It'll be fourth down. Here's our referee, Gene Soucy.
Flipping. Playoff. Refused. Fourth down.
Did he say fourth down or fourth down?
Whatever, Sam.
They got to kick it. Bobbles. He's got to run with the ball. And he doesn't get the first down. Gene Marsink bobbled the snap, had to run with the ball. And John Colosimo ran him out of bounds on the far side at about the Duquesne 48-yard line. And everything is falling right for Duquesne tonight. It is unbelievable. They lead at 10-3. They have the football at their own 48-yard line. We have 13 minutes and 15 seconds to go unofficially in the first half. There's a timeout on the field. We'll be back in a moment.
Gee, what a buy.
It's got to be.
Gee, what a price.
It's got to be.
Gee, what selection.
It's got to be GB.
It's got to be GB when it comes to the Homelight gas chainsaw. Features powerful 3.3 cubic inch engine and soft tone muffler. Lightweight and dependable for all your cutting needs. Now just $259.99.
It's got to be GB.
GB.
This fall, the curtain rises on a world of entertainment you've never seen. Entertainment Tonight. All the stars, movies, television, the glamour. 5 nights a week of inside stories that take you to the heart of show business. Candid interviews, on-location reports, everything that's happening behind the scenes. You may read about it tomorrow, but you'll see it first on Entertainment Tonight.
Watch for it September 14th on the new Channel 11.
Chuck Klausing on the CMU side of the field. What an outstanding record he has had, and what a storied history he has had, not only as a football player, but as a coach. We'll get to that before the night is over, I can assure you, and run down the great credits to Chuck Klausing's credit. We have been informed that the clock here is inoperative at Three River Stadium, and there is considerably less than 13 minutes left in the half. I cannot tell you exactly how much time remains. Bocan to Bowman. Squirts through a hole to the 45 of CMU. Jim Gresh, the left end, number 80, is the man who made the stop, along with Joe Wagner, number 34. With 7 yards gained by Pedro Bowman, 5'8", 160 pounds, out of Thomas Jefferson.
It was the same play that they had run before very successfully. It was a counter trap coming out of the eye, and of course running off of Mark's block. And I think you're going to see Pedro run the ball a little bit more now that the passing game has opened it up, Sam.
2nd down and 3 for Duquesne. They lead the ball game 10-3. Barchi couldn't find a hole at first. Tried another door and picked up a couple of yards, shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 1 now for the Dukes. Working on the clock a little bit here. It was interesting at the moment CMU fell behind, Rocky. Chuck Klausing went to the air. I'm wondering if he is going to vacate his game plan a little bit early here.
Well, as I mentioned before, you know, he said he was very flexible and would have to do what was necessary. And I think that under the circumstances, with the receiving core that they have, thinking it's very strong, that he's going to start going to the air.
Bocan running for the first down, scrambles inside the 40-yard line. So Tracy Bocan doing it all on his own tonight with a little help from Zangaro and, of course, Pedro Bowman. And Duquesne moves the down box. 1st down again. You are watching the Carnegie Mellon Duquesne University football game on WPXI, Channel 11 in Pittsburgh. Sam Nover, Rocky Blyer. We're at Three River Stadium. Duquesne surprisingly leading CMU 10-3. The clock is inoperative, as I mentioned. I would imagine 7 or 8 minutes left in the half as Bowman tries to get outside and can't do it. Great defensive play by Bill Humphrey, the junior cornerback from Newcastle.
As I told you before, they're going to try to get Pedro with his speed and his ability to get it outside. Good crackback, but the defense, nobody was on the corner coming up, and Pedro, I think, should have turned it up right when he first saw daylight.
Loss of 3 by Bowman, second down at 13. And Duquesne rolling right again. Throws it over the middle, intercepted by CMU. It's Murawski. Across the 40 to the 45, and finally down in a hail of rain in red jerseys. But a big interception by Ken Killer Murawski. And that's the first thing that Duquesne has gotten wrong all night.
After play action, you can see him looking right downfield. He's got to get it up over Murawski, and which he did. It was Murawski's first interception this year. He had 2 all of last year. It was a big turnover, big play for CMU.
13 yards on the return. We've got a timeout on the field again. So, with the score, Duquesne 10, CMU 3. Carnegie Mellon goes on offense with excellent field position, but they're down by 7.
Not long ago, it was a run-down old warehouse. Today, it's something very special. A place where you can buy loaves of bread 2 feet long, fine Irish linen, antiques from the turn of the century. It's the Freight House Shops in Station Square. Once just a dream. But with the help of Pittsburgh National Bank, it's a classic performance in architectural restoration. Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
With an active family like mine, it's nice to have Thrift Drug close by. We get our share of skin irritations, but Thrift Drug helps with a great price on Lanacane Cream, the first aid medication for the entire family. And with all of us in tennis shoes, I really appreciate Thrift Drug's price on super tough odor eaters. Thrift Drug even helps my gym get rid of the gray, with a special price on Grecian Formula 16.
We're Thrift Drug and we're close, like one of the family.
It's the biggest and best parade ever, the 21st annual Channel 11 Community Day Parade, with Albert Ingalls and Mrs. Olson from Little House on the Prairie, stars from the Doctors in Texas, plus all your friends from News Center 11. We invite you to join us downtown Saturday, September 12th at 10 a.m. Rocky and I will both be there. Looking forward to meeting all of you. CMU would like to meet the Duquesne end zone here real quick, wouldn't they? From the 45. Fake the pitch, they give it to Hewer. Stumbling for a couple of yards, reaches the 50-yard line. Gain of about 5, stopped there by Tom Kukart, the junior from Canavan High School. You know, the great thing about this game, Rocky, you not only talked about the fact this is what college football is all about, no scholarships, no money under the table, but these kids all know each other from high school. There are tons of kids from Sarah Catholic, Canavan, Central Catholic. They all played on high school teams together. Now they're still teammates or they're playing against each other. It's great. Second down, 5. Fumble! CMU got it back at the 45, I believe. Gary Drakulik, I believe, fell on the football. The pitch out was to Gerard Sansasti. He fumbled the ball, and you can expect it on a night like this. Right through his hands. And Drakulik, the big tight end.
I think it bounced off of... I think it hit Hewer as he was coming up into the line to block and just bounced off a little bit. But, you know, this weather, as we were talking about before, can make a lot of changes in the game.
Third down, 11. Kieslick rolling right, left-handed quarterback. Arches one downfield. He's got a man and a great catch at the 30-yard line by Drakulik. Both Hastings and Shippert were there, but the 6'2", 227-pound senior from Gateway made a great play.
Anytime for a left-handed quarterback to roll out to the right, you really need some good protection. And boy, they picked it up right here, and he laid that ball out there. We were talking about before, going to the air, trying to get some points on the board very quickly, but more importantly, to move the ball and keep it in good field position.
25 yards. Kieslick's first completion of the night, I believe. And he couldn't have picked a better opportunity. Sansasti driven back as he gains maybe a yard. Leon and Colissimo. I'm going to kill that name before we're done with this one. It's the only one I can't handle tonight. Here it is again, Rock.
You know, Dan McCann was a little concerned about his defensive line with through graduation having some inexperienced people up there, but they've been playing very super and have been doing an excellent job.
Let me take one more run at that name. Colosimo, is that right? I did it. Colosimo. Kieslick got a man out there, and he makes the catch. Touchdown, CMU. Drakulik with a great play. Reaching over the defender. Dan Hastings had Drakulik in single coverage and just made a great catch.
Well, what can we say about Drakulik? You know, I mean, he's their big target and their guy who's going to try to get the ball. He got down, and with his size, Hastings just couldn't hang on, get the tackle, and it was a great effort. Looking at it from the end zone, you can see some good field protection in there, coming back, picking up some people. He was rushed a little bit. Great concentration by Drakulik.
So Pastufka will attempt to tie the ball game. The kick is up, and it is good. Just got back to see the end of the ball sailing through the uprights. So Carnegie Mellon on a 29-yard touchdown pass from Kieslick to Drakulik ties the ball game at 10-10. Well, Drakulik obviously has been the big play guy. He's got 2 catches for 54 yards and the only CMU touchdown of the night.
Well, of course, this has been a big play game so far with the first down conversions that we've seen in the big passes. Zangaro's touchdown pass, not Drakulik. Because of this weather, and I think you know, because of the fact that both teams have not seen one another prior being the first game, is that there's going to be mistakes out there, and we've seen a couple of them.
Again, we have absolutely no idea how much time remains here in the half. We apologize for it. The clock is inoperative here at Three Rivers Stadium, as has been the case on a number of occasions over the years, I believe. I think more often in baseball season than football, but it is inoperative tonight as regards the time, so we are simply guessing as to how much time remains in the half. What we do know is that CMU has tied the ball game at 10-10 and that the rain continues. There has not been a momentary let up at all since we arrived here about 6 o'clock tonight, and the field is now starting to gather large puddles. Pastufka kicking down to the 3-yard line, fielded by Jerry Sestrick. 10 to 15, puts his head into the 20 and falls forward to about the 22. Joe Shinasi is a man who made the tackle, so Duquesne now operating from its 22-yard line. We'll go back to work with Tracy Bocan at quarterback. 20 yards on the return by Sestrick. As we mentioned at the outset of our broadcast tonight, this is the 10th meeting ever of these two teams. Other than last year, they had not met since 1940. They are 4-4-1 in the series. Pedro Bowman back to the line, back to the 25-yard line, picking up a couple of yards on the carry. Stopped by Killer Morawski, who's probably got the big play for CMU in the ball game. Rocky, the interception.
It was a big turnaround right there, and really gave them some impetus, and of course they capitalized on it and got the touchdown. But that, you know, that can happen in college football. It's a big play that can excite a team both offensively and defensively, and one person can do it. In that respect, it was the killer.
So a gain of 3 on the carry. Second down and 7 for the Dukes. Barchi and Bowman remain the setbacks, 45 and 34 respectively. Bocan, quick outlet pass to Zangaro. Look at that stop on a dime and a first down move. He is an outstanding receiver. Ron Zangaro, the senior from Oliver High School, at 5'11", 177 pounds, his 5th catch of the night.
You know, they really like Ron. I mean, he's a great athlete. Last year he played both ways as a safety, and this year Dan McCann just wants to have his people to concentrate on one position, and so you can see that Ron will be playing wide receiver most of the time throughout the season.
believe we have a momentary timeout on the field.
Officials, timeout.
The officials have called timeout. I think they're still working on the clock, aren't they? As we pan the stadium here, you might notice a couple of banners that are up. There would have been a great deal more on a nicer night. Actually, Duquesne is offering $150 to the nicest banner tonight, hoping that all of its students would come through with banners and signs. There are a few, not certainly as many as anticipated.
What did you say, Sam? $150?
$150.
Can you excuse me for
Yes,
about 10 minutes? I think I'm going to go down and make a sign.
You can do it, huh?
That's right. I'd put one up there.
How much are we making? How much are we making on this game? Not
Both of us
are
combined aren't making that.
From the 35-yard line. Duquesne with the football, first down after the great move by Zangaro. That's Costco in motion. And the delay to Barchi trying to get outside. They did not fool anybody. Well, they may have fooled a few. They certainly did not fool Bill Corpus, number 78. The senior end tackle, rather, from Peabody High School. Made the stop on Barchi. No gain, second down and 10.
All I can say, Sam, is that I hope that the CMU and the Duquesne graduates who are out there watching this game are having as much fun as we are, because I think it's a fantastic credit to both schools for the teams that they have fielded out there.
Couldn't agree with you more, partner. Second down, 11. Costco and Zangaro, the wide receivers. Throw set backfield as Duquesne rolling. Throws back to Bowman, and he caught the ball, I believe, at the 47. No, they rule incomplete pass. He had to turn back and come back for the ball and almost stop on a dime, and Pedro Bowman made a great effort.
There it is right there. You can see almost just touches it. Just touches it.
Bill Gross got a hand on that ball.
Bill Gross just got a hand, as you were saying, Sam, coming across. Ball was laid up a little soft. I mean, you got to fire those balls right in there on that type of a play.
Third down, 11 for Duquesne. They're in a 10-10 death struggle with CMU. A game I would imagine they want more than any other on their schedule. Setting up the screen. And CMU played it perfectly, bringing the ball carrier, Bernard Barchi, down for a loss back at the 32-yard line. Gresh, number 80, and Morosky, number 54, combined to make a stop, and there's an injured Duke down on the field. Mike Duffy, I believe, number 77, although we'll have to wait till he rolls over. I think it's Duffy, the junior right tackle from Canavan High School, and he's on his feet now and appears to be all right. Now here it is again. It took an awfully long time to set this screen up.
And the reason that they did, Sam, is because they set up a double screen. To Pedro Bowman to the left, Barchi to the right, giving Duquesne the chance of taking either side. But CMU did an excellent job of covering both of them.
That's where Duffy got hurt right there, but he's on the sideline now, appears to be all right. Costco shanks one, and it goes into the Duquesne bench, and CMU will get great field position. Well, it's for sure that Greg Costco is not a mutter. He's an outstanding punter, as we pointed out, having averaged 37 yards a punt last year, but he's having his problems tonight.
Well, if there's any time you do not want to shank, is at this time in the closing minutes of this second half, and giving CMU some good field position and some reason to start moving the ball.
Well, that's the running back, Joe Vasilani, I believe, already on crutches and coming back to the sidelines to be with his teammates. And a lot of these injuries, I imagine, the result of the wet field. Broken play. Kieslick turns it upfield and gets some yards out of it as he crosses the 45-yard line, or crosses midfield, rather, to about the 49-yard line of Duquesne. Shippert 44 and Pellis 74 make the stop. But after the busted play, Bill Kieslick turned the ball upfield for about a 4-yard gain. It'll be second down and 6 now. CMU, Duquesne in a 10-10 tie as we near the end of the first half. I can't tell you how much time because we don't know. Quick handoff and a quick opener to Sansasti. First down inside the 40. Hastings and Shippert make the stop. CMU now starting to gun up their machine a little bit.
Boy, CMU really took advantage of this. They got Eric Warner, who's sitting about 5 yards off the ball as the middle linebacker, and there was a big hole right up there. whether or not that they had seen that in previous running plays, but they saw it then and took a big advantage.
13 yards on the run by Sansasti from the 38 now. CMU on the move again. They were down in this game 10-3. They've come back to tie it. Brad Hewer, the ball carrier, fumble, but I believe after the whistle. Tom Pellis, 74, made the stop.
Sam, on that play there, CMU was running right back up in the middle again. They're taking advantage of a little different type of play on a cutback up the middle, but you know, with Warner sitting back there, you know, it looks like they could establish a weak point.
2nd down 7, gain of 3 yards by Brad Hewer, the ball carrier, a sophomore from Perryopolis. Too many men moving. Flags are down, obviously. Illegal procedure against Carnegie Mellon. Don't think you can do that, can you? In Canadian football, you can.
In backyard football, you can.
In backyard football, you can, but not in college football.
2nd and 12 from the 40.
Well, if you could read lips, he was saying illegal procedure offense.
2nd down 12 from the 40-yard line of Duquesne. And the shotgun now for Kieslick, the quarterback, the left-hander. Gives on an inside handoff, and Duquesne diagnosed that magnificently. They almost took the handoff. Pellis 74 and Calissimo 72 were there when the handoff went from quarterback Kieslick to Sansasti. Watch this. They are right there.
Did an excellent job of diagnosing that play. As I mentioned before, CMU only likes to do a couple things off that eye, and Duquesne has really scouted it well and tried to defense it the best that they could.
3rd down and 15. The Tartans are moving backwards. Kieslick rolling left. Throws it downfield and almost intercepted. Rosinski had the coverage. The intended receiver was Mark Rubel, number 22, the senior. And so it's 4th down now for CMU, and they will punt. Gene Marsink, whose last punt never materialized when he fumbled the snap from center, had a run with the ball, and the Dukes wound up in excellent field position. See if he can get this one off. He's kicking to Beatty and Sestrick. Good high punt this time. And the Dukes fielded and fumbled the ball. CMU has it. Jerry Sestrick fumbled the ball.
Big turnover, Sam. Big turnover right here. Now all CMU has to do is be able to capitalize on it. Going the way they're hitting one another out there and the enthusiasm. We'll see what's going to happen.
Brian Zagoric, number 43, is the man who recovered the fumble. Junior from Central Catholic out of Rankin, Pennsylvania. And he has set up shop now for the Tartans at the Duke 17-yard line. And is so often the case, turnovers have spelled the difference now for Duquesne, or they could probably be in reasonable control of this football game. Their last turnover before this one led directly to Carnegie Mellon's only touchdown. Sansasti ripping off 7 yards to the 10-yard line.
You know, Sam, one thing that you have to remember is that defensively, you've been out there for a whole series. You're getting tired. There's a turnover. You thought you could get a rest. Now you got to go back out there. The offense, even though they've been out there the same amount of time, are really pumped up. And you can see right there in that last running play, the type of blocking that coming off that line and picking up the yardage.
2nd down 3, CMU at the Duke's 10-yard line. Sansasti squirming to the 9, may have gotten a yard. Good defensive play by number 65, Drew Russ, the right side linebacker, and Pellis again, who's been in on virtually every tackle. Playing an outstanding defensive football game. Dan McCann on the sideline. Wonder if he planned to be this close at this point in the ball game. I guess he did. He's got a lot of confidence in his kids. Had a great camp at Slippery Rock, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast. And the first time they've had a chance to go away and work like that.
That's right. And Dan had mentioned the one thing about that camp is that it really helped his team come together, almost become a family. As you had mentioned, it was the first time that they went away, and because of it, they could concentrate on what had to be done, functioning as a team. Dan is a very enthusiastic, very optimistic coach. And yeah, in his mind, he figured he was going to be here.
We have been informed that exactly 4 minutes remains here in the half. That is the official time. 4 minutes to play in the first half, and now they've corrected the official time on the board, so I presume we can go back to it. 3rd down and 2. Full house backfield and nothing doing. Drew Russ was there again, the sophomore out of Brentwood, number 65. What a big play he made on Brad Hewer. So now the decision is up to CMU.
The Dukes did a heck of a job hitting the gaps, getting penetration. That's the key to any 3rd down or goal line stance, is getting penetration so that they can't pick up that 1st down.
Chuck Klausing on 4th down and 2 says we will go for it. Well, you talk about your big plays, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Duquesne with 11 men on the line of scrimmage. And they got him behind the line. Dan Hastings trapping Kieslick behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, they fired up. That Duquesne bench is pandemonious right now.
Duquesne had worked on this option play right there. Boy, great penetration. They knew what they were going to do. If anything, they wanted to take away from the first man coming around, and we can see it coming right through there, what had happened and what had taken place. And boy, what a turnover, what a break.
Somebody made a great play taking away the pitch man. He was totally out of the play. I don't know, it might have been Drew Russ. 1st down the other way. Duquesne gets to Bowman, trying to get outside to the 20-yard line. You know, the little freshman from Thomas Jefferson squirming his way for about 7 yards, Rock.
Excuse me, on that last play, really, they were trying to take away the pitch man. They thought that they could let Kieslick run with the ball, but the key there was Hastings coming through the line, getting penetration, and making that contact behind the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 7 by Bowman, 2nd down and 3. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in a wonderful first half. I hope you're enjoying this as much as we are. And I really mean it, Rocky. I'm enjoying this far more than I ever dreamed. Just a shame there aren't more people here. Duquesne's pass out of bounds. He had 2 intended receivers in the same area. Costco was there, and so was George Dukovich, the tight end, number 85. Now, I don't know who it was intended for, but they were both there.
I think they, had a mistake and, a little mix-up in that area. One of the things that Dan McCann does is that he runs his plays in from the sideline with his wide receivers going in and out, and he calls every offensive play himself.
3rd down and 3, under 2.5 minutes to play in the first half. 10-10, Duquesne in red, CMU in white. Bowman trying to get the 1st down, I don't know. Stopped there by Jim Gresh, number 80. I don't believe he made it. It is really a shame this kid isn't about 3 inches taller, Rocky.
It'd be my height.
Come on.
No, you're
5'11"? In your dreams, you're 5'11".
Well, we all have dreams, Sam.
Right. I have the same ones every time.
But it really is, because they really put a lot of stock into what this kid's going to do for the Duquesne program over the next 4 years. And I don't know whether that's undue pressure.
They got the 1st down. I didn't think he made it, but he did. So Duquesne keeps the football. Most importantly, with 1:45 to go in the half. Bowman again for about 3 yards. I'll tell you what Chuck Klausing said about Pedro Bowman. He said Duquesne getting Bowman is like Pitt getting Bill Fralick. That's how important it was to their program.
But not only that, he has called him the Tony Dorsett of small colleges.
And Chuck Klausing doesn't even coach at Duquesne.
And he doesn't even say nice things about you. No.
No, you meant that. I know you did.
I didn't mean that.
Well, after I heard he was going to dress 110 men tonight, I didn't have nice things to say about him either. But I have a feeling the freshmen won't see much action tonight, will they, in a 10-10 ball game? 2nd down and 8. Bowman tried to take it outside. It was sealed off very nicely. And then the tackle made by Morawski and Wagner, 34. Killer Morawski has just been an outstanding football player at CMU. Number 54, 6 feet, 190 pounds in his senior year out of Baldwin High School.
Let's take a look at the killer coming through. He gets an arm on him, slows him up, comes in there. No, there he is.
That was Wagner who turned it in.
He comes in and sticks him, stands him right up. Now that is a picture-perfect tackle.
Third down, and Duquesne has called a timeout here to come over the sideline to see whether or not Danny McCann wants him to put the ball up in the air or not. Duquesne had the only touchdown pass, in fact, the only score for Duquesne against CMU last year in their 39-7 loss. He threw a touchdown pass to John Moore. But this is another year and another ball game, Rocky Blyer. Carnegie Mellon had 425 yards in total offense last year. I don't know what the stats will be at halftime tonight, but you can rest assured that Duquesne will be the equal, if not better, in total offense to CMU.
You know, the way they're playing, and especially the way they're playing this first half, they got to be very pleased. And I think Dan McCann's got to be very pleased with the progress of his Dukes and where they've come over the last 3 years. He said they're going to have a good team. They're going to be a very enthusiastic team. I mentioned before that they've become a family unit through their training camp at Slippery Rock, and they're playing that.
47 seconds left in the half. Third down, 7 for Duquesne. The Dukes and Tartans are tied at 10. Duquesne is rolling. Going to keep the ball to the 30. No, didn't quite make it. 29-yard line. He'll be way shy of a first down. Morawski is the man who made the stop, and the Tartans immediately call a timeout to stop the clock with 36 seconds to go. So they will get the football back, hopefully for them, in good field position. Costco has had lots of problems kicking that water-sogged football or waterlogged football tonight.
Well, that's what I was thinking about at this point. You know, he hasn't been kicking as well as he did last year, and because of the rain and the weather, CMU could come up in pretty good field position. There's one thing to keep this tie as it is going into halftime. He's going to have to get off a good kick, Sam.
One of the great stories of this football game tonight that will go unnoticed, won't receive one word in the newspaper print, won't be talked about by anybody who's seen the game, is the composure of Paul Palermo, who is a starting cornerback for the Duquesne Dukes and has to sit up here and spot for you and me tonight. He's out with an ankle injury, and I know that kid would give his life to be on that field, but has to resign himself to the fact that this is as close as he's going to get tonight. You're doing a great job for us. Keep up the work, Paul. We need you, I think, as much as they do. And the way they're playing, maybe more.
Okay, here we go.
Bob Cromer is spotting for Carnegie Mellon, and our statistician is Carl Costa. And these three guys are keeping Blyer and I in a football game that we have no right even being in, I'll tell you.
That's right. You said it, Sam.
Costco is back at about his 15-yard line. He'll be kicking to Ted Thomas, number 11, and Jim Price, 23. Much better punt by Greg. Price fumbles the ball at the 33-yard line, and the ball will be spotted right there. So the Tartans did not get the field position they had hoped for with 28 seconds to go in the half. 37 yards, precisely his average last year, and no return, most important to him. And so CMU has 28 seconds to either run the clock out or try for the bomb if they elect to, although I doubt they will.
And there was another point on the rules I wanted to point out, and it happened right there, is that when a receiver is down or a running back is down on his own accord, he cannot get up and advance the ball.
From the shotgun, Kieslich sends off a short little pass to the 40-yard line, and a penalty marker is down in the backfield. It was caught by Mark Leposki, and the stop was made by the entire linebacking core of Kukert, Werner, and Russ. They were all there. But as I indicated, a penalty marker is down, and we'll just have to wait for the official's call. One of the great abilities that Chuck Klausing has, Rocky, is to adjust at halftime. His team has not played well in the first half. Duquesne has played perhaps over its head, maybe as well as they're capable of playing. The fact remains that if Dan McCann had any surprises in the first half, he better have an equal amount in the second half because Klausing knows how to adjust.
That's for sure, Sam. He's done it year in and year out. He wouldn't have the success if he wasn't able to adjust. And I'm sure he's going to get his boys over there, and they're going to he's going to be talking to him. And the penalty that we have there is a holding penalty. And we're going to march it off against CMU.
15 yards. Referee Gene Soucy now clips on his mic, and here we go. Well, Gene, your wonderful voice is being heard only by your own ears.
Holding interior lineman.
You read lips very well.
Yes, I do.
Get used to it. We have problems like that around the National Football League, and you may have one in Cincinnati on Sunday, oh buddy. Kieslich elects to fall on the ball and run the clock out very wisely, and that's exactly what will happen. 5, 4, 3, and it's all over. What an interesting first half it's been through the rain at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Carnegie Mellon Tartans and the Duquesne Dukes are tied at 10. We'll be back to recap the first half, plus a few special guests right after this.
Most car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting new Subaru at the dealer nearest you.
Family Sam, it's my first day.
And your first tray, and you're gonna be great.
Table 6.
Treat them nice. They're part of my family.
Your family?
Yes, Matilda, and so is the carpenter and the salesman. Everybody who comes here is family. That's why we bring them chicken or clams. All they can eat for only $3.49.
That's beautiful.
Introducing No Place Like Sam's with all-you-can-eat dinners.
Does your TV supplement measure up to TV Guide? A supplement gives you program listings and maybe a feature or two. TV Guide gives you program listings, plus news, reviews, commentary, close-ups, updates, and exciting feature articles on the people, the programs, and the power of television. TV Guide covers it all completely and brings it all to life. So get TV Guide. The others don't stack up.
Look at 11.
Oh, wow.
For the #1 laugh lineup in town.
Well, life goes on.
Growing up was never funnier.
Posing in the nude.
This whole thing reminds me of As the World Turns.
Well, that's Hollywood.
Beginning September 14th, we're Pittsburgh's 11, WPXI.
I like it, so you're gonna like it.
From Pittsburgh's award-winning news station, this is a News Center 11 update. Here is news anchor Jane Crawford.
Hello, here are some of the stories we're working on tonight at News Center 11. People in Johnstown are keeping a close eye on the water level there. More rain is expected after yesterday's flooding. The Churchill Citizens Group, which has opposed the 5-school district merger tonight, supports it. The local NAACP demands an investigation into the shooting of a black man by a police officer. And 3 Pittsburgh area centers for juvenile delinquents say they're going to have to close, and people who work there at those centers protest the closing today. These stories and more news, sports, and the weather forecast coming up tonight with Hank Bachman and me. Please join us on News Center 11.
Rocky Blyer, Sam Dover back at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. It is halftime. Carnegie Mellon, Duquesne University, the first college football game of the 1981 season anywhere in America. And it's been a darn good one, hasn't it? 10-10 is our score at halftime. Briefly, let me recap the scoring highlights. Carnegie Mellon went on top. Denny Pastufka, 42-yard field goal, 3-0. And that was the score at the end of a quarter. In the second quarter, Chris Kelly of Duquesne, a 25-yard field goal, tied the game at 3. Then the Dukes surprisingly took the lead on a 29-yard pass from Duquesne to Zangaro, and it stayed that way until an interception midway through the second quarter led to Carnegie Mellon's only score, and 2 great passes from Kieslick to his tight end Drakulik. The final one, 29 yards and the touchdown, and with the conversion, that is exactly where we stand at halftime. CMU 10 and Duquesne 10. Tonight's WPXI telecast is being brought to you in part by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. By Westinghouse and its 140,000 employees worldwide. By Pittsburgh National Bank. We're a bank that believes in performance. And by Pittsburgh Brewing Company, brewers of Icy Light and Iron City beer. Pump and iron in the new Steeler can. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go down on the field and pick up the halftime activity from the Hampton High School Marching Band. Well, for those of you who say, why don't we get to see the marching bands at halftime, you have tonight. The Hampton High School Marching Band. And incidentally, if you're a parent of one of these youngsters, be advised that they are leaving the stadium very shortly. So come get them. We'll be back in a moment.
Did you bring the peanuts, pretzels, popcorn? Did you bring the burgers?
Where's the beer?
Did you bring the ketchup, mustard, pickles? Did you bring the bumper?
Yeah, it's here.
Did you bring the icy light Iron City pumper?
Can't forget the pumper.
One of each.
Did you bring the ice to chill the pumper?
Yeah.
When you want a cold one, just reach. Have a picnic, have a party, call the people, tap the pumper, have a pumper party. Did you bring the pumper? Did you bring the pumper? Did you bring the pumper? Yeah.
Okay, sweetheart, we're going for a ride.
Cedar Point has 57 rides. That's more rides than any other park. Cedar Point even has 6 roller coasters.
So if you want to take someone for a ride, take them to Cedar Point!
Gee, what a buy.
It's got to be.
Gee, what a price.
It's got to be.
Gee, what selection.
It's got to be GB.
Here's a great fashion value on Lee denim and corduroy jeans for gals. Choose from Lee Ryder straight leg Western jeans or go anywhere Lee corduroys in fashion shades. Your choice, only $18.84 a pair.
It's got to be GB.
GB.
Hello, I'm John Chancellor, NBC Nightly News.
And I'm Hank Bachman, News Center 11.
News comes to us in many different forms. A story on Social Security in Washington can be important.
But so can a News Center 11 report on the rising price of groceries.
So whether the dateline is Washington or Moscow,
or anywhere in the tri-state area,
you'll see it all on NBC Nightly News, weeknights at 6:30.
And on News Center 11 at noon at 6 and 11.
When you're good, the news gets around.
Welcome back to Three Rivers Stadium. It's halftime, Carnegie Mellon 10, Duquesne University 10. Rocky Blyer has a special guest he'd like us all to meet. Rock?
Sam, indeed, do I have a special guest, and the gentleman that's sitting right next to me is the president of Carnegie Mellon University, Dr. Richard Seiert. Doctor, I can't say what a privilege it is for us to be able to bring this game to your alumni and your fans out there. What does it mean to you?
Well, we think it's really great. Gives people a much better chance to see the kind of football that's being played, although it's usually better than this. But I really think Division III is great football, and with Chuck Klausing, we've got a great program.
You know, you're talking about Chuck Klausing and the great program. You know, he has really brought it back and has brought CMU up to the prominence that it deserves.
Absolutely. I think I give Jim Banner credit first. He's the one who got Chuck, and I think Chuck's just terrific. He's a great organizer, a great manager. He understands Carnegie Mellon, and he really, when he talks to young football players, he talks to them about the academic program.
Well, Doctor, let's take a look at Carnegie Mellon University.
Carnegie Mellon University has 81 years of proud history to talk about. CMU's approach to higher education makes it a scholastic leader in academic pursuits from technology to the arts. Carnegie Mellon is made up of 6 colleges. The engineering school, Carnegie Institute of Technology, is ranked among the top 10 engineering schools in the country, while the College of Fine Arts at CMU has turned out award-winning playwrights and actors. Broadway shows Godspell and Pippin originated on campus with CMU students, and actors like Quincy's Jack Klugman, Pittsburgh's own Gene Kelly, and comedian Frank Gorshin have attended Carnegie Mellon. The university has a Nobel Prize winner on the faculty and boasts a 1971 CMU graduate, Edgar D. Mitchell, the 6th man on the moon, as one of the alumnus of Carnegie Mellon University.
It is a great university here in the city of Pittsburgh, but a gentleman standing right next to me is president of the other great university, Duquesne University, Father Donald Nesty. And as I had mentioned before to Dr. Seiert, what a pleasure it is for us to be able to bring this game to the people out there. How do you feel? You got to be excited about your team.
I'm very excited, Rocky. We're playing an excellent game, and in fact, probably far beyond the expectations I had when I came into the stadium. Dan McCann works with very limited resources, especially financial resources, and I think he's done a marvelous job to pull this team into the shape that it's in and give us a game that he's giving us tonight.
Well, what was the one deciding factor, for the university to go ahead and plunge into Division III football?
Well, there was such an interest on the part of the students and the fine job that Dan McCann has done, and we feel that's a proper level for us to be at, especially for the kind of rivalry that we're experiencing here tonight with Carnegie Mellon.
Well, indeed, it's a big rivalry, and let's take a look at Duquesne University.
Energy, involvement, dedication. These are words which describe Duquesne University today, a Pittsburgh institution with strong ties to its past and an even greater commitment to its future. Duquesne is a private Catholic university founded over 100 years ago by the Holy Ghost congregation. Today, the university still embodies the ideals of its founders, emphasizing service, moral and ethnic values, and concern for the person. Its modern campus spans an impressive 39-acre hilltop bluff and is a short walk from the heart of the city. Together, Duquesne and Pittsburgh share a warm partnership. For the Duquesne student, Pittsburgh is a dynamic laboratory of technology, ideas, and life. And for over 22,000 Duquesne alumni, Pittsburgh is also their home. There are nearly 7,000 students at Duquesne, including 4,500 undergraduates. Students come from every state and over 30 foreign nations, and they represent countless social, religious, and economic backgrounds. Duquesne features nearly 100 different majors in its 8 schools and colleges, including arts and sciences, business, education, law, music, nursing, and pharmacy. Duquesne and Pittsburgh, together, they share a sense of purpose. Together, they make education come to life.
So those are the stories on our respective universities, Carnegie Mellon and Duquesne. It's 10-10 at the half. We'll be back with the second half kickoff from rain-drenched Three River Stadium live right after this.
Energy is like a herd of wild horses. Corral that power and you can make it work. 25 years ago, Westinghouse first harnessed nuclear energy. Today, we're helping get more energy from coal. We're also working to harness future renewable energy sources like solar, fusion, fuel cells, and others. America's energy needs will double in the next 20 years. That's why we'll need many horses in our stable. Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
It's been called the City of Champions. But even before that, it was the City of Pride. Built by generations of proud people, it is now being reborn. Renaissance 2. More than a changing skyline, it is a steel, stone, and glass tribute to the people of Pittsburgh. At Pittsburgh National, we're proud to be part of this great performance. Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
Why are thousands going to Willie's preseason ski sale?
Why? Because they save up to 70%.
The way he talks.
Dynastar, Rossignol, Nordica, super savings.
He's a great skier, and he sounds like a skier.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Labor Day weekend.
It's that voice.
Personal service.
Willie's accent?
And up to 70% off.
Willie's preseason ski sale. Don't miss it.
Accent? What accent?
When you're good, the news gets around.
Okay, let's take a look at the two dramatic touchdowns, both of them covering the same distance, 29-yard scoring passes. First of all, Duquesne. Bocan, the quarterback, to Ron Zangaro, is outstanding wide receiver. They were caught in a safety blitz. In fact, they had 3 or 4 people coming on the blitz. Zangaro got open, 6 points. Then, coming back, Carnegie Mellon down 10-3. A dramatic pass to Drakulik, the tight end, got him in great field position. And then, quarterback Bill Kieslick faded back 29 yards. He found Drakulik again, and he simply outfought the defender, Dan Hastings, for the touchdown. Here's a heave by Kieslick. And Drakulik, the tight end, had to reach over the defender, coming back for the football to catch it. You'll see it just at the left corner of your screen. Turned away from Hastings and backed into the end zone almost. Touchdown, the extra point. That's where we are, Rock. 10-10 at half. And the stat sheets reveal a very interesting story. Look at total offense.
Total offense is, you know, is a big key, 150 yards, as you can see there for the Dukes, 102 for CMU. The rushing, you know, is a difference there, but primarily the passing and the big plays. You saw the two touchdown plays, and they came on turnovers, Sam, by both teams, and you know, the mistakes had led to scoring plays.
Tracy Kelly will kick it off for Duquesne. Number 9 in the red, Chris Kelly, I'm sorry, number 9 in the red uniform. And in the deep receiving spots, number 22, Mark Rubel. Number 32, Gerard Sansofsky, and number 35, Gene Marsing. They're at about the deep man at the 10, the other two at the 15-yard line. Here's Kelly's kick. Line drive, fielded on the near side by Rubel. 25, has a little room. Trying to cut it back at the 30-yard line, had two Dukes waiting for him right there. One of them was number 22, Jerry Sestrick, a 15-yard return. The other one, Richard Beatty, number 20. Okay, now let's meet the Duquesne defensive line.
New group out of Churchill. Mike Lee on North Hills. Tom Pellis, Hempfield area. Ed Feeney, Dormont.
Back live, the give to the running back, number 35, Gene Marsink, for a couple of yards and no more on the handoff from the quarterback, Bill Kieslick. Now that you've met the defensive line, I believe we'll introduce you to the linebackers of the Duquesne Dukes. Here they are.
Tom Kukart, Pittsburgh. Eric Warner, Butler. Drew King Russ, Brentwood.
Mike Leon, number 70, making the last tackle. Gain of 2 by Marsink. Second down 8. Chuck Klausing uses about 5 or 6 running backs during the course of a football game. And they will all see action tonight. Kieslick at the 42-yard line completes his pass for the first down. Mark Leposki, the Newcastle senior, made the catch right in front of the Duquesne bench. And a first down now for CMU. Kukart is the man who made the stop. Finally, let's meet the Duquesne secondary.
Dan Van Dyke, Corey Hopkins.
Bob Shipper, Pittsburgh.
Dan Hastings, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Paul Rosinski, Shamokin.
So that's the entire defensive unit of the Duquesne Dukes. You met their offensive unit in the first half. Here's a handoff. Brad Ewer, the sophomore out of Perryopolis, picking up about 3 yards as he reaches the 45. Ed Feeney, who had an outstanding first half along with Tom Pellis, and Drew Russ, number 65, combined to make the stop. Rock.
You know, CMU is going to have to, you know, change up a little bit. I thought they played a little conservative in that first half, not mixing up their plays. You know, they run that option so well coming down the line that Duquesne has some trouble picking up, and that last pass reception that they ran, that was an incident of that.
Second down 7, the second back. Marsing, not much there. Leon, the defensive left tackle, pinching in from North Hills High School. The 6'1", 215-pound senior was the man who made the big play. So now CMU in a third and long situation, and Duquesne has had Carnegie Mellon in that kind of situation most of the night.
And it's a big plus factor. You don't want to give them that short yardage to be able to have the opportunity to pick up the first down. You know that they're going to have to pass, and hopefully you can defend against it much better than you can on a short possession or short running down.
From the I formation, Chuck Klausing, the head coach now in his 6th year at CMU. Play action for Kieslick. He's got a man out there, and it's batted down. Might have been Leon, number 70, who's got his hand up and smacked it back in Kieslick's face. But the Dukes knocked down the intended pass, and it's 4th down, and Carnegie Mellon will have to kick.
Sam, the Dukes continue to come up with the big plays, and of course that was a big play. They were moving the ball very well, and they couldn't allow the CMU to come up with that first down.
Gene Marsing, good snap from center. The big rush, they tried to block it. Penalty marker is down. They got Marsink as Zangaro fields the ball at his 15-yard line. But Duquesne has made another costly error, I believe. And Dan McCann is irate on the sidelines. And I think he is angry as much at his own players as he is the official. Somebody got a piece of Marsink, and it's all going to come back, Rocky.
I think Dan thought that Marsink had moved a little bit from his punting position because of the wet field out there. He slid a little bit, but of course he was in the motion of punting, and that wasn't as if he was running with the football. You get a little over enthusiastic on those punt rushes. You saw a great opportunity, but they weren't there in time.
And the big 15-yard walk-off by referee Gene Soucy, and a first down for CMU inside the 40 of Duquesne.
Roughing the kicker. Defense. First down.
Well, at least in college football, they don't point out the individuals. They've got a little bit of heart, don't they? Dan McCann is still seething on the sidelines. CMU with a big second half break as the rain continues to fall. Brad Muir on a quick opener, still on his feet. Inside the 30 and very close to a CMU first down. Drew Russ finally dragged him down. It was Marsink, the ball carrier. I believe I said Hewer. Number 35, Gene Marsink, the ball carrier.
You know, there's a big hole coming right up the middle. Not only that, I think this has been the longest run from scrimmage for CMU, or for both teams at this time. Marsink does a nice job keeping his balance. One thing is that he did not play last year, Sam, because he was on a co-op program that Carnegie Mellon University runs.
He got the first down. The rain falling harder than it has all night. Nothing there. Hewer, the ball carrier this time, and he ran right into Pella, 74. Dan Hastings, number 13, and also the right side linebacker, Drew Russ, 65.
You know, this is a very important time, Sam, for the defense. They can't allow the big mistake that might cause a score here, but yet they can't play too conservative and get out of the realm of what they have to do out there. So it puts them in a bind.
Second down and 10. Play action this time. Kieslick arches one toward the end zone, almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Danny Hastings, the sophomore from Char Valley. And I don't know whether his own teammate jarred the ball loose or whether the intended receiver knocked it free.
Well, whatever. I think he ran into somebody to knock it free. You see Kieslick set up right here. Boy, it's wide open. He's got his man right down in the middle there. Trukulik almost like the same play that they scored on in the first half. Fortunate enough, he hung it up there. Defenders were able to get underneath it and knock it down.
Hastings actually is the biggest man in the secondary at 6'3", about 220. He's the only guy who could probably look Trukulik in the eye. The only man who could look Trukulik in the eye. Third down and 10 now for CMU. Look at that play.
They're going to try to take advantage of a pass rush out there and sneak a draw up there, but the Duke's defense did an excellent job of diagnosing.
I don't know who I'd vote for most valuable player thus far, but Tom Pellis would get certainly a lot of votes and a lot of attention. He has been literally outstanding.
You might get it for being an offensive player because he's in that backfield so often.
So CMU not even with a field goal opportunity here. Marsink has that one. May have been partially touched. Carnegie Mellon trying to down it. No, it goes into the end zone. Sestrick was back there, let it go. And CMU tried to get a hand on the ball and kill it inside the 5, and they couldn't. A punt of 34 yards by Marsink. It'll come out to the 20-yard line, and the Dukes will begin from there. 10:50 to go here in the third quarter. You're looking at the score. It's tied 10-10.
If you've ever had the feeling you had to wait forever for a Subaru station wagon, here's good news. They're available now with on-demand four-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. But because of Subaru mileage, Subaru sticker prices, and Subaru durability, better see your Subaru dealer soon, before they start disappearing again.
Test drive the exciting new Subaru at the dealer nearest you.
Hey, listen, hold my crush, but don't drink it, okay?
Okay. Orange lovers have a crush on us.
Don't drink it.
I won't. It's our 100% natural flavors that do it. We're so orangey, we're hard to resist.
We're so irresistible, you can't keep a bottle full.
Are you drinking
Orange
it?
lovers have a crush on us. Ooh.
Hey, where's my crush?
Eat evaporated.
Orange lovers have a crush on us.
As you know, it's a dream come true for former pit kicker David Trout, the new kicker now for the Super Steelers. And he'll be Rocky Blyer's guest on the premiere of Steelers 81, Sunday morning at noon, right here on Pittsburgh's 11 WPXI. Those young ladies have to be soaked to the bone. Good warm shower will do them very well tonight at the end of the ball game. Don't want them catching a cold, you know.
But that's what, you know, that's what the spirit is all about, school spirit, to get out there and cheer what fans that are here.
Don't know if I've got that much spirit, Rock. First down and 10 for the Dukes from their own 20-yard line. 10-10 football game. Tracy Bocan giving off to Pedro Bowman. Squirming out a yard or two. He's a pretty strong kid.
Tough little runner.
Incidentally, I made an error, and I want to correct it. I think earlier in the broadcast, I said Bowman is 5'8", about 160 pounds. He actually carries about 180 pounds on that frame. Let's now meet the defensive line of the Carnegie Mellon Tartans.
Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Bill Corpus, Pittsburgh, PA. Joe Nardone, Beaver Falls, PA. Jim Steinke, Poland, Ohio. Bill Gross, Ambridge, Pennsylvania.
Second down, 6. Bowman gaining 4 on the carry. Gross set backfield, the wide receivers. Zangaro 24 and Costco 15, and they give it to the first back through is Bernard Barchi, freshman out of Sarah Catholic. Picked up a couple of yards on the carry. A reminder, you're watching the CMU Duquesne football game on WPXI, Channel 11 in Pittsburgh. Let's get acquainted with the CMU linebackers right now.
Ken Morosky, Baldwin, PA. Ray Fricketic, Shaler, PA.
Third down and 3 now for the Dukes. From the eye, Pedro Bowman dots the I. Barchi is the up bet. And they have gone with that backfield almost the entire night. Bowman in motion. And the pass is complete at the 37-yard line to Zangaro, who has been the best receiver on the field tonight. That's his 6th catch of the night unofficially, and here it is again.
You talk about most valuable players as you did before, Sam. I mean, here's a kid that has to have 1 vote. He's been really the offensive punch to Duquesne. They've been able to stymie their running attack. CMU has been able to, but they've not been able to stop that combination.
From the 37-yard line, Tracy Bocan goes back to work now with a first down in a 10-10 football game. And the Dukes with play action. Bocan wants to air it out. Now he's got to run with it. 40, 45, he's got a first down and more. CMU 45-yard line, and down he goes, but a first down for the Dukes. Dragging him down is Bill Gross, 85, and Jim Price, the weak side cornerback, but a good scramble by Bocan.
You know, Bocan has great speed. He takes his time, he's got experience, and he's got the ability to assess to a situation as he did right there, being able to pick up some blockers. The offensive line did a great job as he rolled out to the right to seal off that defensive line to give him room to run around to the left side.
You are right. Somebody gave him a great block. It may have been Bowman who was out there, Pedro Bowman, who gave him the key block to spring it. First down, 19 yards on the scramble, and that one was dropped by Costco out in the flat. Finally now, to round out our introduction of all the players, let's meet the CMU secondary.
Bill Humphrey, Newcastle, PA. Joe Wagner, Chalfont, PA. Ted Thomas, Amherst, Ohio. Jim Christ, Trafford, PA.
Well, there they are, 44 very special young men playing in the rain here at Three River Stadium tonight for their respective universities. Nobody here on scholarship. Bowman for a couple of yards, and not much more than that.
You know, you were talking about that defensive secondary before, Sam. Coach Clausing thinks that, you know, that is really a strong unit back there. He's been with them for the last several years, all the starters, everybody's back. And for some reason, they're having some problems in that pass coverage, and it's primarily the blitzing of the middle linebackers and them not being able to drop back into that middle zone.
Here's a quick pitch to Bowman. They got him on the fly at the 40-yard line. And good coverage on the far side by Humphrey to prevent that play from perhaps going all the way. Pedro Bowman was in motion in a 2nd down and 9, and he had a steam moving.
Dan McCann had talked about their passing game. trying to use the backs as flares, getting them out there, having to make a one-on-one tackle out there. And I think that if they can get that ball to Pedro Bowman, that more than not he can come up with a win.
I believe I said on second down that was a third down play, and now they're fourth down and about 2 yards to go, and the Dukes are going to gamble. They're at the Carnegie Mellon 37-yard line. Fourth down and 2. Caught by Zangaro. What a great catch at the 21-yard line. And he is hurt. A flag is down. Zangaro is hurt on the sideline, but a magnificent catch and not a bad throw by Tracy Beauchamp, who had to arch it over some defenders.
Well, you talk about a big play, Sam, and we had talked about it earlier, whether you should do it here or now. They came up with a gutsy play down here on fourth down. The ball was laid out there very nice. Zangaro had hung on to it as he slides in there. It was perfect.
Unfortunately, it will come back. Penalty against the Duquesne Dukes. I didn't see the preliminary call. What was it, a legal receiver downfield? They had the legal receiver downfield. They started to block for the sweep, and I'm just wondering if somebody might have moved out in advance of that. Joe Hagan.
Illegal receiver downfield. Offense. Fourth down.
Well, he won't tell us, but I believe it was Joe Hagan, the freshman from Canada, number 71.
That's
so,
a shame.
On fourth down now, and obviously 18 yards to go, Costco will have to punt it away. That is a shame.
That's what I was going to say, Sam, and really, as they had the momentum going for them, of course, plus the first down.
Costco is 35. Pretty good punt this time. Fielded by Jimmy Christ inside his 15, and good coverage by the Dukes, and down he goes. At about the 19-yard line. So with 6.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, we got a penalty marker down, so hold on 1 second. Let's see what this one is all about. 38 yards on the punt by Greg Costco, and 5 yards on the return by Christ. But let's check the penalty flag. Blocking below the knees?
Yes, and you cannot block below the knees on any returns on the punt or the kickoff change of possessions. It's like a chop block, and it's illegal in this respect, and that's what they called them for.
So they'll walk it off half the distance to the goal line, back to about the 7-yard line. And here's referee Gene Susi.
Blocking below the waist. Offense. First and 10.
So the Tartans now will have to operate in the shadow of their own goalpost, and the Dukes would love a turnover here. We've got a timeout on the field at Three River Stadium. 10-10, the Duquesne Dukes and Carnegie Mellon Tartans. We'll be back in a moment.
Way to go, Rick Davey. You bring a guest and he sinks a 20-footer.
Lean into the cup. Oh, could I go for a cold Iron City? What? Iron City? Trust me, guys. We'll have 4. Iron City.
I don't know. First he sinks a 20-foot putt, and now he orders me an Iron City.
Here you go, guys. Just what the pro ordered.
It's not my beer. Then today hasn't been my day.
You'll like it.
You really know your irons.
Iron City beer.
Flavorful, fresh, firm. Giant Eagle, healthful, hearty, wholesome, produce, variety, vitality, value. Like sweet, juicy Turlock, California honeydew melons. This week, just 99 cents each. Giant Eagle, nourishing, natural, nutritious. The produce department at Giant Eagle. If you want fresher produce, you have to grow it yourself.
Sam Nover and Rocky Bly are back at Three River Stadium. It continues to rain, sometimes harder than at other times. But nonetheless, those here are enjoying, I would imagine, every moment of it. We certainly hope you are. Channel 11, WPXI, delighted to make this a special sports presentation tonight. 2 of the great educational institutions in this area, Carnegie Mellon and Duquesne, battling out on the gridiron. In motion. Lefoski out of the backfield on the handoff straight ahead. Good call. Marsing Straight ahead for good yardage as he reaches the 13 and 14-yard line. Drew Russ, number 65, on the head. Good motion out of the backfield that time, Rocky.
Yeah, they did. They really split it. They had a fullback field, and then they split the fullback out as a wide receiver. But what a great psychological lift for an offense. You're sitting back there in your own territory, and you look down at the end of the field, all that distance, and all of a sudden you can pick up 7-8 yards, and it gives you some enthusiasm.
8 yards is exactly what they got. Second down and 2 at the 14 of CMU. We are still tied 10-10. This game very much up for grabs. Play action. Kieslick arches one downfield for Drkulik, and he's got it at the 40-yard line. Penalty marker. He dropped the ball. We may have pass interference here against the Dukes. Drkulik had the ball. He was stripped of it. He was double-teamed, but that big tight end, number 83, can really go up and get the football. And he got some help getting up there that time. Pass interference against the Dukes. It'll be a big first down for CMU.
Take a look at this, Sam. That's the whirly-bird offense that CMU has, and he turns almost 360 degrees there, turns around. It's very tough for the defense to figure out what he's going to do, whether he's going to hand off and they can drop back. Gave the receivers an opportunity to get down there, past not only linebackers, but into the secondary. Well, it must have been before that. I didn't get a chance to see where that penalty came in.
They spot the ball right on the 36-yard line. So it's an automatic first down, and Carnegie Mellon's on the move, aided by a penalty there, and they send 2 men in motion. No, they just split 1 man, and they send number 21, the wide receiver, Mark Leposki, in motion, and again, the big hole for Marsink. He continues to fight for some added yardage, brought down by Eric Werner, who we haven't heard a lot from tonight, the middle linebacker, number 45, the freshman from Butler.
It's again that whirlybird. See the quarterback spin around. It's a quick hit on that side. They also can throw the pitch going around the other side and throw the passes we've just seen off of it, Sam. So it really can confuse that defensive people out there.
Give him a gain of 5, second down, 5. Chuck Clausing may enjoy a little bit more now what he's seen out of his offense. And that field is really sloppy at the moment. They've got him back there, and Kieslick just got it away. And Leposki tried to get back for it, and the penalty marker is down at the 40-yard line of Duquesne. They came with a blitz, Kukert and Russ from the linebacking spots, and they had great pressure. And Bill Kieslick just got rid of the ball in time, but we have an offensive penalty pushing off against CMU. Look at the pressure here, Rock.
A lot of pressure coming in here. And again, Dan McCann wanted to say that we got Drew Russ coming on the outside, and we got Tom Kukert coming from his position on the outside. He wanted to blitz and put the pressure on CMU all the time.
So a 15-yard walkout, and here's a referee.
Pass interference on the offense. That is also a loss of down.
Well, that is a costly penalty. 15 yards and loss of down. It's now 3rd down and 20 for the Tartans.
That was Mark Leposki pushing off on that badly thrown pass off of Van Dyke, and of course they caught it out there.
Kieslick would have been better off to take the loss on the sack from the shotgun. Over the middle, deflected, almost intercepted by Duquesne. Eric Werner, who's only 5'9", got up about as high as he could and got his hands on the football, but he couldn't come down with it. So the Duquesne defense stiffens, aided by a pass interference offensively against the Tartans. And Gene Marsink is back now inside his 15-yard line. He'll be kicking to number 24, Ron Zangaro. Take it back. Jerry Sestrick, number 22, and Richard Beatty, number 20. Beatty at the 38. Crosses the 40 to about the 42, and down he goes there. Under a host of white jerseys. But the Dukes will have excellent field position. 4:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Nothing shaken here as far as points on the board, but nobody wants to give an inch. CMU and Duquesne in a death struggle. We'll be back in a moment.
Energy is like a herd of wild horses. Corral that power and you can make it work. 25 years ago, Westinghouse first harnessed nuclear energy. Today we're helping get more energy from coal. We're also working to harness future renewable energy sources like solar, fusion, fuel cells, and others. America's energy needs will double in the next 20 years. That's why we'll need many horses in our stable. Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
You may not be thinking about pizza first thing in the morning, but at Pizza Hut, we're thinking about you. We start out pretty early at Pizza Hut, so the dough has time to rise. Chopping up the toppings, oh so we're ready for your order. Oven fresh, just for you at your hometown Pizza Hut restaurant. Your hometown Pizza Hut.
Sunday night at 11:15, Pittsburgh's first weekly sports show will look at the first week of football with the Steelers, Pitt, and all the rest of the pro action, plus a special feature on electronic games and athletic shoes. A personal invitation from Rocky and me to join us Sunday night 11:15 for Sports Week right here on Pittsburgh's 11 WPXI. A 10-10 football game if you've joined us. The rain hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the cheerleaders, however. From the 41-yard line, the Dukes have it. Duquesne, and a pitch to Sestrick. Halfback option downfield, and it's deflected away. Costco was the intended receiver, and Ted Thomas was not fooled at all. A penalty marker is down in the neighborhood of the 43-yard line, but the halfback option Danny McCann called on, and CMU was not fooled.
No, they weren't, and it's really nice to see that Dan's not sitting on what success they've had, and he's coming out, and he's going to throw everything he can, mix it up a little bit. Whoop, we got the call right there. Defensive holding.
It is.
Penalty.
No, we couldn't see it there.
Oh, it comes in a little bit later, but a nice pass. Nice arm.
So the walk-off against Carnegie Mellon, despite the incomplete pass.
Probably it might have been on Bill Humphrey holding up the wide receiver.
Defensive pass interference. Automatic first down.
There we got it right there. Well, all we can guess, and I think what it was that defensive secondary Bill Humphrey holding up the receiver going downfield.
Yeah, I didn't think Thomas had done anything. I thought he knocked the ball cleanly away. So it's 1st and 10 with the ball now at the 42-yard line. And the pitch is to Pedro Bowman. Across the 45 to the 46-yard line, picking up a quick 4 yards on the carry. You got to be a mutter to operate out there. We have now puddles in virtually every corner and portion of the football field. Jim Stanky, number 77, and Bill Gross, 85, combined to make the stop, but not before. Bowman gained 4 on the carry. 2nd down and 6 for the Dukes.
On that last play, that halfback option, you know that there might have been something going on because all we've seen was Pedro Bowman in the backfield, and all of a sudden Dan put Sestrick. It might have worked better if we would have had Bowman throw it.
But maybe he can't throw the ball.
Well, maybe he can't.
2nd down. Fake it into the line, send Barchi around the outside, and a great tackle there by number 34. Joe Wagner, the senior from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, the strong safety, who just submarined the ball carrier and knocked him down.
Good isolation here on that counter sweep that they run very well. But Barcy can't get outside. He's got great pursuit by that defense, and they just come up and knock his pins out from underneath him. Tough little runner.
So it's 3rd down, and it's called a 3rd down and 6. See what Bocan does now. You're looking at Bernard Barchi, the freshman out of Sarah Catholic. Bocan has thrown very well tonight. He's going to roll right. He's going to keep it. The chase is on, and they got him this time. Bill Corpus, number 78, ran him down on the far sidelines in front of the CMU bench. Joe Nardone, number 61, was also there. The sophomore from Riverside High School in Beaver Falls.
Picked up 2 yards on that play, Sam. Nice thing is that CMU did a great job of not only covering the receivers, but having inside pursuit by their defensive linemen and having Bocan have to string that out.
So for the 6th time tonight, Greg Costco drops back in punt formation. He'll be kicking to Jimmy Christ, 23, and Ted Thomas, 11. Costco, good punt. Fair catch at the 20-yard line by Thomas, and he catches the ball. CMU will go to work right there. So nobody has given any quarter here in the 3rd quarter. 31 yards on the punt with no return. And in light of the weather conditions, that's not a bad punt tonight. There's a timeout on the field. It's 10-10 with 2:55 to go in the 3rd quarter.
He was born at the turn of the century and grew up on Pittsburgh's North Side. He went on to become perhaps the greatest sportsman in the history of the game. Art Rooney. Not just the founder of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but their father. Not just admired, but loved. A great human being whose entire life has been one great performance. And we salute him. Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
It's Western Wear Week at Sears, where you'll find some all-American savings on all-American fashions. Blue jeans. Through Saturday, famous men's Roebucks jeans are $5 off. Roebucks come in washed and unwashed denim in sizes to fit any man. And save on Western boots. These women's boots are a real value at $18.99. Men's boots only $19.99. And save $15 on these stylish leather Western boots for men and women. All-American savings through Saturday during Sears Western Wear Week.
So from the 21-yard line, do you think this guy's wet? Take a look at this one. Well, he's smart enough at least to bring along a plastic jacket or poncho. You got to admire anybody who came out tonight, Rock. That's all I can say.
You can understand why both sides are standing watching this game. They want to sit on those benches.
There are a few hundred faithful here. They have been here since the outset of the ball game, and I dare say they'll be here to the end. CMU with the football. Keeslick gives to his first back, Brad Hewer, and there's nothing there for him. Stacked up by Pella, 74, who has been virtually all over the field tonight. Ed Feeney, number 90, and John Colosimo, number 72, the freshman from Seton LaSalle. Cheerleaders will be as tired as the players by the end of the night.
He's got a good shot there of Chuck Klausing. On each side of him, he's got both his quarterbacks. Now, they send the signals in from the sideline, all three of them, and only one of them are live, Sam.
2nd down, 11. Keeslick play action. Dumps it out here, and it's caught out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Drakulik. Eric Warner, the little middle linebacker at 5'9", had the coverage on the 6'3" Gary Drakulik. And again, we'll get a chance to see how Chuck Klausing, he's sending in to play this time, I think, Rock.
But you can see him standing there with two of his quarterbacks, and all three of them have different signals for a particular play that he wants, and only one of them are live, and he would not tell me which one at what time.
Sure, he knows what kind of guy you are. Sansasti checks into the backfield, number 32, from the T formation. You remember that?
Short yardage.
Full house backfield. Keeslick dumps it out, and it's incomplete.
Great defensive play, penetration by Duquesne. They really set that up very nice.
Marcy.
You know, they're sitting there. I'm sorry, Sam. They're sitting in that fullback offense. They're sitting down in 3rd down, short yardage. You can see they're running option off of it, but a great defensive play. He just didn't have time enough to get his back out there, and was incomplete.
Drew Russ, the linebacker, was in Keeslick's face before he knew what happened. Marsink has it partially blocked. It takes a great CMU bounce inside the 35-yard line. But I believe the number 85, George Dukovich, got his hands on that football. At least he deflected it just a bit to change the course of the flight. 38 yards nonetheless, so it still was a good punt.
Got a nice roll going over to the sideline.
He might have done his team an injustice by touching the ball. That may have been the best punt of the night. So the Dukes have it back, and it's been this way all through the 3rd quarter with 1:51 to play. Nobody can get an offense moving, and all we've had has been an exchange of punts. Let's see if we can't get a big score on the board by one of these two teams. A 10-10 football game in Duquesne. Throws it to Zangaro, and he catches it at the 47-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Dukes. That has worked every time they've needed it.
A very nice, well-timed pass. Of course, it's a play-action pass with Duquesne spinning around, and it holds the not only the linebackers but the secondary back there. And Ron Zangaro comes down and just hooks it up on the sideline, and it was right on the money.
You got to love this Zangaro. He has just done everything that he's wanted to do in terms of catching the football. Who was that on the Duquesne bench? Number 74, I believe, Tom Pellis, who's had a great game. Look at Bowman. Bounces off one tackler, 45, 40, and out of bounds. That's another Duquesne first down, and the Dukes are on the move, trying to break a 10-10 tie in the rain at Three Rivers.
Well, Pedro Bowman does what they expect him to do right here. He gets stopped right on the line, but doesn't stop moving his feet. He's able to bounce around. He's got the good speed and quickness to get outside. You know, a back is one player on a team that can really spark an offense. It only takes one type of a play, and this might be a play to get that Duquesne offense moving.
Nobody knows that better than you, my friend. Bowman gained 1,707 yards, scored 19 touchdowns last year for Thomas Jefferson in leading them to the AAA championship in the WPIAL, and he scrambles for more yardage. Lee Furketic is the man who finally upended him, but not before. The little guy from Thomas Jefferson picked up about 8 yards.
Well, as I mentioned before in the first part of the game, is that Dan McCann expects and wants that Pedro Bowman to carry the ball at least 30 times. He's going to have to catch it. Well, he had 15 that first half, and he's well on his way. There he goes right now, 20 rushes for 61 yards.
Second down and long 2 for the Dukes. Moving down with the hopes of breaking a 10-10 tie. Under 1 minute to play in the third quarter. Here's Barchi. Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That'll be another Duquesne first down, and they're doing everything right in this drive. Duquesne has just been masterful or I should say Danny McCann, in calling the plays.
He's really setting up well, and he's moving around. He's letting Pedro run. A lot of second effort on the running backs. You saw it in Pedro and Barchi there being able to turn the corner. Very strong runners. Now, the big thing here, we can't afford a turnover, or at least Duquesne can't afford a turnover. They got to be able to control the ball.
Duquesne trying to pull off what may end up being the biggest upset of the season in college football. This is the first game of the 81 year. Bowman dropped for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. Jim Price and Lee Furketic. And CMU's got to be saying right now, wait a minute. We're a great defensive unit, and nobody can move the football on us, and the CMU Tartans are trying to gut it up right now.
Well, I think they're doing a good job. They're doing an excellent job on this side. Whether or not they diagnosed that they were in that backfield and being able to stop that pitch, they ran that side 3 times in a row, and you can't do that too often to a smart team.
So a loss of 3. It'll be second down 13 when we come back. And when we come back, it'll be the final 15 minutes of this football game. We're at the end of 3 quarters, 10-10.
Most car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting new Subaru at the dealer nearest you.
Everybody's drinking it. Icy Light. Show them all you're on your way with the taste that says today, yeah, you're drinking it. Icy Light. Everywhere you're having fun, you'll see the light that's #1. Hey, give me an Icy Light. An Icy Light.
Here's a special invitation for all of you football fans to look at 11 Sunday starting at noon for the season premiere of Steelers 81. David Trout, the Steeler rookie place kicker, will be Rocky's guest, followed by the NFL report from NBC and Steeler football at 1 o'clock. Following the game, the 5th quarter, live from the locker room on your Steelers station, Pittsburgh's 11 WPXI. And we're proud to be here tonight. Delighted to be bringing you the first college football game of the 1981 season anywhere in America. Second down, 13. The Duquesne Dukes in a 10-10 tie with CMU. Duquesne throws it out in the flat, incomplete. Little play action intending to pass for Pedro Bowman. I don't know. If I were Duquesne or Boken, I would get the ball to Zangaro until they stop the play, and they haven't stopped it, to the tune of 7 catches for Ron Zangaro tonight for 105 yards. I would throw that ball to that young man until they stop the play, Rocky.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that has to be a coaching must at this point. You'd go with what's gotten you there and what's been working best for you, and of course that combination has.
Third down and 13 for Duquesne. Little pressure, throws it again out to Bowman, and he overthrows him. So they went away from Zangaro, and perhaps justifiably so, because Ron drew double coverage on that play and has, I think, for most of this second half.
Not only that, but CMU put on a big rush. Lou Grippo was in there, the middle linebackers blitz, both Morawski and Furketic, I'm sorry, gracious. And that was a big key. They put a lot of pressure on him.
So it's 4th down, and now Dan McCann is really faced with a big decision. 4th down and 13 at the CMU 31-yard line, and they're going to go for it. Obviously, it's out of field goal range. I don't know about this. How about a kick inside the 10 and make CMU go a long way? Costco in motion. 4th and 13. A screen over the middle to Barchi. Trying to get it, and he didn't make it. He got to the 21-yard line, and it came up about 3 yards shy. Not a bad call by Dan McCann on the play selection, but I don't know if I would have gone for it.
Well, I thought it was, you know, the one thing he did was he read the defense from the last play. We had the 2 middle linebackers blitz. He did the same thing here, set up the middle screen.
Barchi with good blocking out in front of him. He got 11 of the 13 yards, but he came up 2 shy. So there's a timeout on the field. Also an injured football player down. We'll check on that and be back to bring you the remaining 14 minutes and 36 seconds of this football game right after this.
Energy is like a herd of wild horses. Corral that power and you can make it work. 25 years ago, Westinghouse first harnessed nuclear energy. Today, we're helping get more energy from coal. We're also working to harness future renewable energy sources like solar, fusion, fuel cells, and others. America's energy needs will double in the next 20 years. That's why we'll need many horses in our stable. Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
Not long ago, it was a run-down old warehouse. Today, it's something very special. A place where you can buy loaves of bread 2 feet long, fine Irish linen, antiques from the turn of the century. It's the Freight House Shops in Station Square. Once just a dream, but with the help of Pittsburgh National Bank, it's a classic performance in architectural restoration. Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
There you see the injured player, Lee Furketic, the linebacker out of Shaler High School, the junior, at 6 feet, 190 pounds, and he walked off under his own power and appears to be all right, although they will take every precaution to make sure the young man is fine.
Well, I hope he comes back in the game because CMU really needs him. I mean, he's a tough defense.
From the 22-yard line, CMU with the football. 10-10 is the score. We have had nothing scored in the third quarter or early here in the fourth. Good run by Ewer, breaking a couple of tackles out over the 30 to the 32-yard line. Dan Hastings is a man who dropped him, but an excellent run by the ball carrier. I believe I said Ewer. It was Marsink, and I've mixed him up all night. My apologies to both young men. And another Tartan is down on the field as you look at the third quarter stats. And again, Duquesne overwhelmingly in total offense, leading by over 100 yards to CMU.
It's been a big
really
key
moved
here.
the football. Excuse me, Ron.
No, it's been a big key here because that yardage points out the time that they've possessed the ball. And as long as you can control the ball and keep it away from the opponent, you're in good position.
The injured player, number 76, Scott Lee, junior out of Fairview, Pennsylvania. And he's being attended to, as you see, on the field. Stopping the clock with 14:22 to go in the game. And there was some concern, I'm sure, on the part of Dan McCann and Duquesne followers that with their manpower, with their strength and their depth, CMU would wear Duquesne down, but that has not been the case, at least here in the early going.
Of course not, Sam. It really hasn't. But I think the one thing that you have to point out is that Duquesne is really playing as a unit. You know, they're believing in themselves. In the short program that they've been here in 3 years as Division III, they've put a fine team together.
The early going to the fourth quarter, I meant, of course. Play action for Kieslick. Throws it downfield, bobbled and dropped. Great penetration was made by the middle linebacker, Eric Werner, who may have forced Kieslick to release the ball a little early. Great acceleration he's got. He came out of nowhere like a shot in the dark. Watch Werner put some pressure on Kieslick.
Nice play action. He's sitting back there, and he's not even looking at that middle line. Right there, took the oomph right off that ball and is floating up there. And Kahil Sharif.
That's it.
That's right.
Like Omar Sharif. So it's now 3rd down and still a yard to go. On the incomplete pass, they try to catch Duquesne napping and get the big gainer. Ooh, what a great defensive play by Werner. Duquesne is simply beating CMU off the ball, and it may be delay of game here against Carnegie Mellon.
That or a legal procedure.
And it is a legal procedure. So they got the big run from Marsink, 9 yards, at 2nd down and 1. Went for a big gainer. Incomplete pass, 3rd down and 1. Illegal procedure, 3rd down and 6. This, at many times, CMU seems to self-destruct in key situations.
He came up with some big mistakes, and of course that has hurt him.
Look at Duquesne, 10 men on the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. Werner again.
Boy, he blew right through that line.
Colosimo was also in there, but they just never gave him a chance.
You know, really, that was a fault on the offensive backs. Brad Hooer had to pick up that blitzing middle linebacker. Should have cheated up a little bit. By the time you know, he got into the backfield, it was too late.
4th down. Marsink blocked by Duquesne at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, the Dukes.
Oh, if you don't think they're pumped up.
Do you believe? George Duquesne picked up the block punt and ran it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Great penetration. Great penetration. Got his hands up in front of the kicker. Nice block there. Be able to pick it up and score. Boy.
Do you know who blocked that punt?
I couldn't see the number.
Pedro Bowman, number 34. He does everything. What a dramatic turn of events. A block punt by Bowman. Duquesne picks it up and runs it into the end zone 11 yards. And all of a sudden, Duquesne leads heavily favored Carnegie Mellon. Well, there aren't many people here, Rocky, but they're making all the noise that they possibly can, I can assure you.
Well, the one thing I have to say, Sam, is that, you know, whether you're a Duquesne grad, alumni, follower, or whether you're a Carnegie Mellon or just a pure sports fan, you're seeing a great game out here today. Or tonight, I should say.
That bears looking at one more time.
Gets in there and gets that penetration. It's hard to see it. Yeah, it's Pedro. He puts his hands up. Watch this block right there by number 71, Andy Firm. No.
Joe Hagan.
Joe Hagan, I'm
Yep.
sorry. And that was a key.
So the extra point attempt now by Chris Kelly, trying to make it 17-10. Bocan will spot it. Placement, the kick is up, and it is good. And with 13 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the football game at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, the Duquesne Dukes surprisingly leading Carnegie Mellon University 17-10. We'll be back with a kickoff in a moment.
Most car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting new Subaru at the dealer nearest you.
Everywhere you look, people are taking pictures. It's America's #1 hobby. Saving memories, smiles, all the good times. And more of us are taking our film to Revco because we get high-quality prints at everyday low prices. And now, a 100% never-late rebate. We get our color prints back the very next day, or we get them free. Getting into pictures has never been easier.
We hope that following the game tonight at 11 o'clock, you'll stay tuned for the 11 o'clock report of News Center 11 with Hank Bachman and Jane Crawford bringing you all the news. Barry Lillis has tomorrow's weather, and of course we'll have a complete sports wrap-up. I don't know who's working tonight. You and I are here. Probably Randy Waters or Dee Thompson. News Center 11 tonight at 11 o'clock. Stay tuned. We'll bring you up to date on what you've missed while this exciting football game has been played here at Three Rivers. I wish we could put the face of everybody in this stadium on camera tonight because they deserve it. There aren't more than 500 or 600 here, Rocky, but they certainly have been loyal and enthusiastic. Here's Kelly's kickoff. At the 5-yard line, fielded by Rubel. 15, 20. Had a little seam, and he reaches the 30-yard line, and a marker is down. Mark Rubel returning the ball 25 yards to the 30-yard line. Mark Westerling, number 86, or Westerling it is. Number 86 is the man who made the stop.
Well, Sam, now we're going to see if Chuck Clausing changes again his offensive game plan. As we had seen in the first half, when they were behind, they started throwing the ball more than they did before, and he might find himself or feel that he's in that same position.
At the 30-yard line, CMU for the second time tonight, finding itself trailing by 7. Don't count them out. Keesley gives Brad Hewer, number 26. Ed Feeney is the man who met him, and the Dukes are as high as the sky. Drew Russ was also there, 65. Maybe it's that we came into this game slightly disillusioned, but this is one fine Duquesne football team, Rock. I never expected this.
They're doing an excellent job on defense. They're getting that penetration that we've talked about so much tonight. And not only that, you see 2, 3, 4 bodies hitting that runner or receiver.
From the shotgun, Keesley. Intercepted! Tom Pellis, who's got to be the best defensive player on the field tonight, and they threw it right into his hands. I do not believe it.
Mistake, mistake, mistake. Carnegie Mellon can't do that. Duquesne is higher than a kite at this point in great field position.
Well, we'll look at it when we come back, but right now, Duquesne celebrating on the sidelines, but they better be aware there's a lot of time to play. 12.5 minutes. They lead by 7.
Down the stairs, boys.
I think I'm in love.
I know I'm in love. Give her a call.
All right. You know, what number is she on?
Try 10.
10 it is.
Answer.
Hi, I'll get us a beer. She hung up. Bill, 2 irons.
Iron City.
How you doing?
Great. How's your day?
Super. Hey, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
Iron City.
Hey, I know that guy's secret now.
Pump an Iron City beer.
Due to buy.
It's got to be.
Gee, what a price.
It's got to be.
Gee, what selection.
It's got to be GB.
It's got to be GB when it comes to the Homelight gas chainsaw. Features powerful 3.3 cubic inch engine and soft tone muffler. Lightweight and dependable for all your cutting needs. Now just $259.99.
It's got to be GB.
GB.
Pittsburgh's news station, WPXI, becomes the first word in news with a 5:30 report of News Center 11. Jim Scott, Roxanne Stein, Pat Finn, and Rocky Blyer bring you the news ahead of its time starting September 14th on Pittsburgh's 11 WPXI. The man we've talked about all night with a big interception. Watch this again.
Look at Keesley right here, backpedaling back. You see he's throwing off of offense's momentum. He hasn't stepped, planted, and thrown that ball, and so he threw it short, and a big play right here for Duquesne.
You're talking about a freshman out of Hempfield High School. Tom Pellis, number 74. If he's not the best defensive man on the field tonight, he's among the best three. Duquesne with a chance to really pad their lead. From the 20 of CMU, broken play. Duquesne picks up 3 on it. Bill Humphrey made the stop, along with number 50, John Wise.
Bill Humphrey may have made Duquesne decide not to run with that ball again.
He hit him pretty good. Look at the puddles. That's in the end zone, and that's where you can see at the top of your screen the Dukes would like to cash right in that puddle if they could. That is the end zone that they're headed for. Duquesne goes wide to the right and Zangaro to the left. 2nd down and 8. Duquesne got 2 on the scramble after the broken play. Tracy, a quick outlet, incomplete. Intended for his tight end, George Dukovic, who just scored the go-ahead touchdown after the block punt. So now it's 3rd down and 8. And Dan McCann faced with a pretty good decision right here. And I wonder what Chuck Klausing is thinking about, Rocky Blyer. You're talking about a guy who has lost but 6 games in his entire CMU coaching career. ABC Small College Coach of the Year in 1979. He's coached at Pitcairn High School, Braddock High School. He was an assistant at Rutgers, Army, West Virginia, the head coach at Indiana, PA. He's got to be among the greats of the nation today, but he is in trouble right now. 3rd down and 8. Duquesne, incomplete. Intended, I believe, for Pedro Bowman out of the backfield. And they've gone away from Zangaro, and I can't understand why.
Neither can I, Sam. It was a very tough catch for Pedro because he really had to do a 180-degree turn in the air to be able to try to pull it in.
So it's 4th down and 8, and Chris Kelly is on to attempt a field goal. And you talk about big field goals. This, of course, would force Carnegie Mellon to score twice to win the game, or a field goal and a touchdown to tie. Duquesne will spot the ball at the 24-yard line. A 34-yard attempt by Chris Kelly. It's a fake. Duquesne throws it out in the flat. 20, 15-yard line, and Thomas drags down Sestrick, the receiver, and they did not make it.
Really, it was an excellent play. Really, it was an excellent play.
Sure, you've been calling it all night.
I said we should have done it the first time that they were down there. And it was a good call. The only problem was that he couldn't get the ball out there to make a clean reception. And so the receiver had to wait for the ball, as we see right here. Bend down. Boy, he's got his blockers. See? Boy, it had an open hole, and it gave the defense too much time, really, for lateral pursuit to get over there. Well, it would have been a nice one.
You called it about 2 hours ago. Straight ahead on a dive play to the 19-yard line is Marsink, number 35, the junior out of Ambridge High School. That play, by the way, netted 5 yards, the screen, but it wasn't enough for the first down. Leon and Warner combined to make the stop. A gain of 3 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 7. Lou Olive, number 10, is now the quarterback for CMU, the senior from Peabody High School, who played most of last year. Kieslick unable to put more than 10 points on the board, and so Chuck Klausing is giving Olive a chance on a keeper. 20, 25. Good play by Lou Olive, and he's got the first down up around the 28-yard line. He's trying to get the Tartans alive, trying to rally them as best he can with 10.5 minutes to play in the game. From their own 28-yard line, Olive bobbled a snap, and look at that on the blitz. Penalty marker is down, but Werner was in the backfield almost before Olive got his hands on the football. Illegal procedure against CMU, and I think Olive came out of there without the ball, and that's it.
Boy, nobody picks up Eric Warner at all, and he's sitting right in there. do you do, Mr. Olive? Well, CMU's having trouble picking up that blitz, especially when Warner gets up in the middle of the line and hitting the gaps in there. You got to change something. Hopefully on the sideline they're doing that.
They still haven't adjusted, have they? Second down and 16. Olive from the shotgun running the ball, and I don't think that's what that play was intended to do. He never really even looked downfield. Tackle made by Pellis again, 74. He's at the bottom of the pile, and also Mike Leon, number 70, the down lineman for the Dukes, and Werner has come alive here in the second half. They have just played outstanding football. In fact, the whole unit. It'd be silly of me to even single out a few people because they have played, Rocky, as you've indicated, like a cohesive defensive unit, and they have been absolutely outstanding. We've got a timeout on the field. Chuck Klausing having a few well-chosen words for his quarterback, Lou Olive, will be down with their third down play after this.
Westinghouse Technology developed an ultrasonic flow meter to protect America. By using sound to measure water flow, it predicts proper firing conditions for underwater missiles. Now, ultrasonic flow meters protect the delicate environment of the tundra by detecting possible breaks or leaks in the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. By innovation, a technology developed to protect America is helping protect America's environment. Technology from Westinghouse, a powerful part of your life.
Hi-ho! Hi! We're here to tell you that the Muppet Show is here on WPXI. Look at 11. Where? It's all of our regular gang plus a whole galaxy of superstar guests.
Time magazine has called The Muppet Show the most popular television entertainment on Earth. We're sure you'll agree. Watch The Muppet Show weeknights at 7 starting September 14th.
That's The Muppet Show here on WPXI. Look at 11. Where? Ozzy, I keep looking.
Sam Nover and Rocky Blyer, welcome back to Three River Stadium. It is Duquesne University leading Carnegie Mellon University 17-10, 9:40 to go in the fourth quarter. And I now know why football games run long. Normally, these guys would have played this in 2.5 hours, but television gets in the way, and you know what happens, don't you? We're almost 3 hours long right now. Third down and 14, but it's been a great football game. I don't know anybody who's complaining. Olive throws it, and it's caught almost miraculously by Drakulik, the tight end, when the linebacker had excellent position for the interception. He literally took the ball out of his hands from behind him, Rocky.
Took it right out of his hands, Sam. Of course, you know, Olive's going to try to get it to Drakulik, being the big receiver he had. He just took it right out, stepped right in front, came over his back, whatever he had to do to get that ball.
Not enough for the first down, however. Oh, my goodness gracious. The punting game has absolutely deserted Carnegie Mellon. Alex George, number 81, in on the play. And let's take a look at this one again. Joe Malika, number 12, is back to do the punting. He is a new punter, obviously. Can't come up with the football. Down he goes. As I indicated, the man in there was Alex George, number 81. And again, Duquesne with a golden opportunity at the CMU 20-yard line. Duquesne gives off to Bowman, and he goes nowhere. May have lost a yard or two. I don't know how many times you can turn the ball over at your 20-yard line and get away with it, Rock.
You really can't, Sam, and it's really a shame that it's happened to Carnegie Mellon, but that's been the big factor in this game.
I'm still confused why he would forsake his regular punter, Marsink, although he's had some problems too tonight. But why bring a new guy in on a rainy night with a slippery football from his own 10-yard, 20-yard line? Second down and 11. Bocan throws it downfield, caught and then dropped. Intended for the tight end, George Dukovich, out of Lawrenceville Catholic in his senior year now at Duquesne University. Both Wagner and Humphrey have the coverage, and good coverage it was.
He's looking all the way down the field. He sees his tight end coming up. Nice defense coming in. Perfect hit by the defensive secondary. Good coverage.
So again, Duquesne unable to do anything with the advantage. Dan McCann calling the plays from the sidelines. Duquesne is 12 out of 23 tonight unofficially for 129 yards. The one touchdown pass to Zangaro and one interception. Big play. Bowman on the sweep. Got outside, but he ran out of room. Fumbled the ball. Scramble is on. CMU's got it. Wagner on the ball. And Carnegie Mellon gets it back again. Would you believe it? What a wild football game. 7:07 to play.
Bowman gets a nice play right there, but watch Bowman. He keeps his feet, turns around, got it knocked out right there by Jordan Nardone.
Yep, knocked it right out of his hands. Wagner, Johnny on the spot to cover the ball, and CMU has escaped another bullet, haven't they? Timeout on the field. We'll be back in a moment.
It's been called the City of Champions. But even before that, it was the City of Pride. Built by generations of proud people, it is now being reborn. Renaissance, too. More than a changing skyline, it is a steel, stone, and glass tribute to the people of Pittsburgh. At Pittsburgh National, we're proud to be part of this great performance. Pittsburgh National. We're a bank that believes in performance.
Most car commercials try to sell automobiles with scenes like these. Subaru thought you'd like to see how a Subaru works on the roads of Pennsylvania. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru that will best do your job for you. Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Test drive the exciting new Subaru at the dealer nearest you.
Back at Three Rivers Stadium, Carnegie Mellon has the football back again. They will operate this time from their own 8-yard line following the fumble recovery. And the turnover starting to become more plentiful. Kieslick is back in the lineup at quarterback now for the Tartans. Ooh, they almost got to him. He releases a ball downfield. It's incomplete. Of course, when you come with a blitz, as Duquesne has done so often tonight, you obviously leave yourself vulnerable in the secondary because everybody else is in single coverage, but they haven't been hurt by it.
The thing that we talked about, Sam, is that CMU has not made the adjustment for that blitz coming up the middle, and I don't understand why they haven't.
If you don't, I certainly don't.
You know, Duquesne has done it time and time again, has put Warner up in the line and hit those gaps, and CMU has just not picked it up.
2nd down and 10 from the 8-yard line. Any moment now, the clock will start to become a factor. 7:02 is plenty of time. Breaking through a little hole is Eugene Marsing, the junior from Ambridge High School, picking up about 7 yards on the carry. Pellis made the stop 74, so it'll be 3rd down and a long 3 now for CMU to keep the football. And Chuck Klausing, there are quarterbacks now flashing the signs. One of them is good, one of them is
there they go.
Counterfeit, as they would say.
That's right, all 3 of them.
It's a little drastic, isn't it, Rock?
Well, you want your signs to be picked up. We used to do that all the time in college. Look at the opponents.
It has stopped raining for the first time tonight. I believe there are no more drops falling here at Three Rivers. Keeper, 1st down. Penalty flag in the pile as Kieslick reaches the 20-yard line. And Billy gets a 1st down, the junior from Highlands High School. But as I mentioned, a penalty flag is down. Then we'll have to wait for Gene Susi to tell us, and it's against Carnegie Mellon. Holding.
Tom Pellis is down on the field.
Oh, they could ill afford to lose him, Ron.
He's been having one super night.
So the 1st down run is negated by the holding penalty against Carnegie Mellon. They will bring it back and walk it off halfway, half the distance to the goal line. Here's our referee, Gene Susi.
Offensive holding, half the distance to the goal.
Pellis is on his feet now and coming off under his own power with Bob Miley, the trainer on the left. That's good news. Glad to see you, Tommy. You've been one heck of a football player tonight. You're watching the CMU Duquesne football game on WPXI Channel 11 in Pittsburgh. A reminder that News Center 11 will follow our broadcast immediately tonight with Hank Bachman and Jane Crawford. And without a very good friend of mine.
Who's that?
You. 3rd down and 9 from the shotgun again. Kieslick from his own end zone releases a ball that's incomplete. Was that Werner again who was on top of him? Eric Werner has lived in the CMU backfield here in the second half. Wow.
Kieslick gets a lot of pressure, and of course you know where that pressure is coming from, right up the middle. They just can't stop number 45, Eric Werner. He's having one heck of a game.
Scott Kosnick, the center. Al Kamisa, Richard Creech, the guards, just having their hands full tonight. Malika gets off a pretty good punt and a fair catch out at the 47-yard line. In fact, that may be one of the better punts of the night by Joe Malika, number 12, who bobbled one earlier. 38 yards and no return, so he got CMU out of a big hole. And now Duquesne, they have lived almost entirely in the second half in CMU territory, trying to put the icing on the cake rock and take it home with 5:50 to go in the game. They lead by 7. One more score, I would assume, would do them in.
Definitely, you know, would, Sam, just the way this game's been going, it's been a big mistake game, big play game. Duquesne's been able to control the ball, and of course that's one thing that Dan McCann said on the top of the show, is that he needs to control the ball and be able to hang on to it.
Pedro Bowman for maybe a yard. No, he got a yard, maybe 2 out of it. Stanky 77 and Gross 85. You know, I reflect back now on McCann's remarks at the top of the program. And his remarks were, as I remember them, we have to run 55 to 70 plays to win the ball game. Now, if they haven't run 55 to 70 plays, your name isn't Rocky Blyer.
Well, we're going to check on that, and I'll get right back to you.
They have completely dominated possession of the football. The clock now definitely a factor. Under 5.5 minutes to play. 17 to 10, the Dukes lead it, and they have the football. 2nd and 8. Bowman trying to better cover up the ball.
Sam, you're right. That was their 62nd play. That ran right there, and so as far as Dan McCann is concerned, they're right on target what he wanted to get accomplished.
Nardone and Gresh combined to make the stop, 61 and 80 respectively. And incidentally, as much as calling the play-by-play of this ball game tonight, Rocky and I wanted to make sure we talked at least about the schools that some of these young men come from, and I hope we've done that. Sometimes you get lost in the play-by-play description of it, but I hope we've at least acknowledged most of the schools of the young men who are the principals in this contest tonight. Pass caught beautifully by who else? Ron Zangaro out of bounds and a first down for Duquesne. Well, there's my offensive MVP, Rocky. No question about it. His 8th catch of the night.
He's had a big night, and the question, you know, comes up: why hadn't they gone back to Ron earlier in the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter? But they've come up with a big play here and a big first down.
Just a great catch over the outstretched hands of Jim Price, the sophomore from Central Catholic High School. A lot of these young men are from Central Catholic, and for justifiable reason. All Chuck Klausing has to do is look outside his window, doesn't he? Now they go back to the ground again with Barchi, 48, picking up a couple of yards under 4.5 minutes. And now the Dukes really working on the clock, leading the football game 17 to 10.
You know, really, this game is an example of the type of high school football that is played not only in Pittsburgh but Western Pennsylvania. We've talked about it through the years, and it's been a great recruiting for a lot of head coaches, and you can see it right here.
Young man you just saw, number 66, Rich Ruffalo, sophomore from Central Catholic. I don't believe we've seen much action tonight, but he got his face on camera. Bocan still throwing the football. Now he's running for his life. 25 to 20. Spins back to about the 20-yard line, no further, but he's very close to a first down. Why would he put the ball up, Rocky? Why, oh why? He got the first down.
Let's take a look at and maybe see what he can. Oh, we got it. He's rushing already. His receivers were covered, as you know. He just tucked that ball under. we mentioned before, he's got great speed and is a good athlete. He just turned that corner and picked it up. We got the first down as well.
Oh, and a big one, too. Recycles a down box. 4 more plays now for Duquesne. We've got a timeout on the field, and while we do, let's take a moment to run through referee's timeout. Let's run through the people who've really helped make this broadcast possible tonight. Our stage manager in the booth, Lou Plejos. The red hat on the field, Andy Songen. Stage manager on the field, Leon Whipple, and repeating the people in the booth who have helped Rocky and me so capably tonight. Carl Costa, our statistician. Bob Cromer, our spotter for CMU. Paul Palermo, our spotter from Duquesne, and the guys who really got us going, the respective sports information directors, Nellie King from Duquesne and Ron Chikowitz from Carnegie Mellon. We thank them one and all. 1st and 10. Duquesne, short little pass. Casco along the sidelines, knocked out of bounds inside the 15. You're still not going to smile, Paul, huh? Can't get a smile out of Palermo up here. He still thinks there's 2.5 minutes to go in the game. It isn't one yet.
We said before, why is Duquesne passing? And he comes right out with this same pass to Casco. Great effort right here. Picks up the couple extra yardage. And you can really get the feeling that Duquesne wants to take it in there and get that extra score.
They got a 2nd down and 2 at the 12-yard line. Duquesne stats on the night, and on a rainy night in Pittsburgh, those are very impressive statistics indeed. Spinning away, Bowman almost broke it to the outside, but a good tackle by Mark Colello, number 44, from Wayne, New Jersey, a freshman, prevented Pedro Bowman from breaking it on the outside.
Well, CMU is not giving up at all, and they know that they've been in the fight all day, but they're down here. It was a 2nd down situation. They came up, and they're playing that game very well.
We can get a camera on that far sideline. They are watching this game. The 110 guys in white and red in stunned disbelief. Carnegie Mellon, I'm sure, cannot believe that with 2:13 to go on a moving clock, they're about to lose to a team that 3 years ago was playing club football, but they are indeed. Casco in motion. Bowman, near side, inside the 10 to the 8. Under 2 minutes to play. Mark Dixon made the stop. So they keep moving the football inexorably toward the CMU goal line, and most importantly, they have moved the down box to 1st down again. And Klausing will not say die. Still coaching and teaching on the Carnegie Mellon sideline, hoping for a chance to get that football back again. 17 to 10 Duquesne. Duquesne sends Casco in motion. Bowman just hurdling the man at the line of scrimmage and dropped by Nardone. And we're under a minute and a half, Rocky. 90 seconds away from a big upset. And CMU stops the clock with a minute. Is that clock backfired on us again? It shows 2:20. I think it's recycled. We're under a minute and a half.
You know, all night long we've talked about Pedro Bowman and the number of times that he needed to touch the ball. At least that Dan McCann said that we need to get the ball, 30 times to Pedro. Well, so far he's rushed, he had carried the ball 26 times for 71 yards, and it's a little less than 3 yards per carry. A far cry from the 7.6 average that he had at TJ last year. But the fact is that they're controlling the ball. They're not giving up, and they're picking up the 2-3 yards that they're needing and not turning the ball over.
And when they have 3rd down and 5, Duquesne has always come up to Zangaro for the play. Almost always. It seems like always.
It's been a great combination for him.
It is 2nd down and 7 when time is resumed. The clock again has misfired, but we're under a minute and a half to play in the game. That much we know for sure. And the referee has gone to both benches to inform them the official time will still be kept on the field.
Well, the one thing that Chuck Klausing was concerned about was his defense coming into this game. It was a young defensive line. They're not getting the rush, the pass rush that they had gotten in previous years, and it just shows on the passes and the receptions that Duquesne has come up with.
Well, Chuck Klausing has taken great pride in playing 85 players at least every year. Of course, they'll graduate 25, but he's always got 60 coming back. And not only does he win, but he plays a lot of kids. And he's a great credit to college football, as evidenced by the fact that he was a small college coach of the year in 1979, as named by ABC.
You know, also the fact that, in all honesty, I mean, Chuck had really nothing to gain to take on the series with Duquesne. I mean, they were a club team. They were starting. They came last year, and of course, that score 39-7, and this was the second year. Only people, you know, would say is that Duquesne is an underdog. There's no way they can beat it.
Well, this certainly would do the history of Duquesne football proud, would it not? Dating back to the days of Elmer Layden, who was one of the famed four horsemen at Notre Dame. He was the coach and athletic director of Duquesne 1927 to 1933. He took the Dukes to the Festival of the Palms, which is now known as the Orange Bowl. In 1934, great tradition at both of these schools. Duquesne, of course, dating way, way back in the 30s. And they're alive and well again in Division III of the NCAA. 2nd down and 7. Is that clock right? Duquesne dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Good play by Jimmy Stanky, who dropped him back at the 13-yard line, and CMU uses another timeout. Is that clock right? 1:47. I thought we were under a minute and a half. Yeah, it's been a long night for everybody. So CMU stops the clock again. 3rd down and 13 now. It'll be interesting whether or not Mr. McCann would go for the field goal on 4th down, Rocky, risking the block and, of course, the return of a field goal block.
I didn't like his play selection on the 2nd down. The fact that the clock's running down in under 2 minutes, you're rolling out to the right to throw the ball. You know, it's much better to keep it on the ground, let Pedro or Barchi run the ball, and let that clock continue to tick off.
Coach Blyer.
That's what they pay me for.
Well, they don't pay Danny McCann very much, I'll tell you that. Or they didn't for a lot of years. Lucky he's got a good boss at the Iron City Brewery, huh? Bill Smith, I'm sure, takes good care of him.
Well, I'm sure the thing that's running through Dan's mind at this point is, let's just run the clock down. Don't come up with the big mistake that's, you know, going to give them a score on a fumble or an interception that they can go all the way.
3rd down and 13. Duquesne leading the football game 17-10 over highly favored Carnegie Mellon. How much highly favored, I can't tell you. I don't know a line on the game. But you can rest assured, coming off a 39-7 win last year, they were favored. Oh, almost a great catch by Bowman, who was turned the wrong way. Humphrey had the coverage. I say Bowman, it was Zangaro. 24 and not 34. And Ronnie almost turned back the other way to get the football. Well, here's the answer to our question. On the field is number 9, Chris Kelly. So, indeed, McCann will go for the 3 points that would ice the football game. 1:40 to play.
But there was great pressure put on by the blitzing linebacker, Joe Vassilani of CMU. Didn't give Duquesne the chance to set up. Oh, I'm sorry, but Mark
Colello. From the 20-yard line, Duquesne will hold a 30-yard attempt to ice the football game. Chris Kelly, who has one to his credit tonight. Kick is up. It's in that direction. It's good.
You know, all that concentration is right on that foot. You see Kelly doesn't move his head up at all and just come in through and meet the ball. CMU needed a big rush. They got it, but it wasn't good enough, and the ball goes through the uprights for 3 more points.
Palermo smiling. I guess he figures it's 1 now, huh? A 30-yard field goal by Chris Kelly, and what a great story this is. It may not be on the front page of the Pittsburgh Press or the Post-Gazette tomorrow morning, But I'll tell you, this is a great story. Duquesne University, out of football for years and years and years. Dan McCann forming a club football team for something like 9 years, finally getting the club back into Division III, having been lambasted by Carnegie Mellon to the tune of 39-7 last year, has come back to avenge the defeat, leading here 20-10 with a minute how much? A minute 35 to play in the game. Kelly's kick squirts into the end zone away from Sansofsky, who was back there to field it. So CMU will take the touchback and go from their 20-yard line.
Well, I'm sure you're going to expect at this time the ball to be in the air. Chuck Klausing and the CMU Tartans have to get some points on the board, and doesn't look like much hope.
From the shotgun, Kieslick, the left-handed quarterback, throws it out, and it's intercepted by Duquesne. Rosinski back to the 10, the 5, and out of bounds. Paul Rosinski from Mount Carmel High School, a senior. He is still down on the field inside the 5-yard line as we look the play over again.
Great pressure put on by Colosimo. And Rosinski just comes up, takes it. Oh, they know they got it in their hip pocket now. I mean, what a feeling.
There is an injured player down. Billy Kieslick is the injured player. He came over to make the tackle. You see the ecstasy at one end and the unfortunate circumstances at the other. Billy Kieslick had come over to make the stop on Rosinski, and he got pinned at the bottom of that pile. Boy, one picture's worth 1,000 words, isn't it? Truly.
Just let the folks look at this coming right up. I mean, the key to that whole situation right there had to come from the defensive tackle Colosimo, putting the pressure on. The ball was up there. Boy, he took the blunt of two people.
He's also up and walking off the field, and that's good news. Billy Kieslick was coming back from a broken wrist in 1980 that forced him to miss virtually the entire year, being helped off the field, but I certainly hope there's nothing wrong with that young man. He's a great leader, and he'll be back, and Carnegie Mellon will avenge, I'm sure, this defeat and at some point down the road and have another great season as they normally do under Chuck Klausing. This will not be a cloud in their season. But needless to say, this will be probably the biggest victory in Dan McCann's coaching career, I would have to imagine.
First time Duquesne University's ever been on television, starting off the season. Well, Dan McCann believed in this team, and the team believed in him, and they've really shown it on the field.
He's really able to bear fruit. Minute 21 to go. Beaucamp staying on the ground. To Bowman, 5-2, out of bounds at the touchdown. No, he got in. Pedro Bowman, a 6-yard scamper. He got inside the flag. And this score will not be a true story of this football game tonight, because now the rout is on. But for 3.5 quarters, it was anybody's football game.
So we finally get a chance to see Pedro's excellent speed and cunning ability outside, and he just turns it on, puts his shoulder down, runs over a couple of people, and sneaks into the corner.
Chris Kelly will try to tack on the 27th point. Beaucamp will hold. He's been a great leader. Tracy Beaucamp, the sophomore out of Sarah Catholic. The kick by Kelly is up and good. A lot of heroes on that field in the red uniforms tonight. There will be a few parties on the bluff this weekend, I would imagine.
I would hope so. You know,
starting tonight, says Paul Palermo.
An interesting story there about Kelly's center, Sean Westerland, that he is centered for Kelly in junior high, in high school, and all the way through college.
Kieslick going to the locker room, holding his left arm. You know, a story that might graphically describe from where this team has come to where they are now. Last year, first game of the season, coming from training camp, Zangaro in the huddle tells the story that he looked around and saw 4 faces that he had never seen before. Where did these guys come from? But in 1 year, they have gotten to know each other very, very well. Sansasti bringing the ball back to the 25-yard line. Boy, this last 2 minutes has been an eternity, hasn't it?
It really has, but it's been a nice one for, you know, for the Duquesne people out there, because those players have deserved. They played very well, and they should just kind of be saturated with this victory.
23 yards on the return, and the man you just talked about, Sean Westerland, made the tackle. Isn't that something, though? Zangaro goes in the huddle, first game of the year last year, says he sees 4 people he never saw before. Who are these people? Well, they went to Slippery Rock this year. They got familiar. Dan McCann made people room together.